Steve Colley and Casey Bell. That player for the Blues is Brittany Bauer. Where are the singers?
They're up here.
Huh? I don't see them.
I don't see them either. Yeah, they're there.
Oh. Here, serving the young people in St. Louis Obispo, offering an after-school music and singing program for kids aged 6 through 19. The primary focus is on music education and the rehearsal process. They also teach performance etiquette, and they provide several opportunities to provide throughout the year. We are welcoming the singing ambassadors of the Central Coast Youth Chorus. Ladies and gentlemen, we would ask at this time if you would please rise and kindly remove your hats. Ladies.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we walked.
And with that, we welcome you to Sinsheimer Park here in San Luis Obispo, California. Game 24 of this SLO Blues 2021 season sees them come in with a record of 17-6 in tonight's contest. We welcome the Orange County Riptide, who are 2-0 against the Blues this season and come in with their record of 13-8. Hi again, everybody. I'm Zach Ebrahim. The Orange County come in fourth in the CCL. Blues tied for first with the Santa Barbara Foresters. In the two previous ball games, this is the third of a homestand here in Sinsheimer Park. The Blues split two games with the Foresters, winning the first and pitching a no-hitter, combined one hitter. And then falling last night by the score of 8-3 against Santa Barbara. They welcome their neighbors from the south. Blues traveled to Irvine for a two-game set against the Riptide, and it was part of their three-game losing streak. Blues lost three straight on that road trip. The first two in Irvine, and then went down to Pasadena and lost to the Arroyo Seco Saints. They've righted their ship as of late, and the man that's done that so far for them this season is Matt Sox, who will be on the mound, making his fourth start for the Blues, and, well, he's been more than rock solid. Sox has led this entire pitching staff, comes in with a record of 3-1, the ERA at 0.54 for Matt. This will be his fifth start. In 16 2/3 full innings pitched. He leads the team with 30 strikeouts, has only walked 5, and has only given up 9 hits overall. In his last outing against the Saints, a game in which the Blues lost 5-1, went 5 full innings, only giving up 1 earned run on the first pitch of the ball game, 4 hits, and striking out a season-high 10. For Matt, the senior at the University of Utah, hometown of La Cañada, California, the right-hander who has been downright dynamic for this Blues pitching staff. He'll go up against a Riptide lineup that goes like this. Dwight Allen, the center fielder, bats leadoff, followed by Colton Freeman, the right fielder that bats second. Reed Spenrath bats third and plays first, followed by Eric Bijani, catcher who bats cleanup. Darian Williams will DH. Tank Esplalin will bat sixth and plays second base. Emilio Rosas bats seventh and plays third base, followed by Efren Cervantes, the shortstop, and Kyle Booker, the man who we saw lead off in 2 ball games against the Blues, bats ninth and plays left field. An Orange County team comes in with their average of 294 overall, averaging about 7.5 runs per ball game. That Sox going to look to help the Blues bounce back from a loss last night to the rival Foresters, welcoming in the Riptide, who are trying to win their third straight against the Blues in 3 games. Blues trying to scratch. Riptide fourth in the CCL South. Blues tied for first We are underway here. Game 24 of the Blues 2021 season. And we're at home for a third straight game. Sinsheimer Park. First pitch from Sox to Allen is outside ball one. Matt Sox, fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup. Part of the reason he has struck out 30 is his ability to change speeds and the eye levels of these hitters. That first pitch is lined into left center. It's a base hit for Dwight Allen, and he'll lead this ball game off with a single and be safe at first. Bringing Colton Freeman to the plate, who will bat with one on and no one out in the top of the first. That'll bring Colton Freeman to the plate. Allen just singled. First pitch from Sox. Curveball. In there, strike one against Freeman. So we mentioned the Blues have not beaten the Riptide at all this year. 0-2. Here's an Sox throws over to first to check on Allen. He's safe. So Sox giving up a hit on the second pitch of the ball game. In his last start, gave up a home run on the first pitch of the game. Afterwards, asked him, have you ever done that before? He said, that's the first time in my entire life. Curveball dropped in there for strike two. So that's the first time in my life I have ever done that. And he thought to himself, after giving up the home run, well, this is going to be a long day, and I'm going to have to battle through this one. He would strike out a season-high 10, and every time he'd allow a man to reach via the walker base hit, he would get the next 2 or 3 men out. He would not allow back-to-back men to reach the entire ball game. Throw over to first, checks on Allen. He's still safe, and he's got Colton Freeman, Matt Sox does, in a 0-2 count. No outs, no score, top of the first. Blues and Riptide for the third time this year. Allen takes off for second, pitches high, and he'll have a stolen base. Dwight Allen's in scoring position now, and Colton Freeman just took ball one. Count is 1-2 to the Orange County right fielder. We saw Freeman in this exact spot in the second game between the Blues and Riptide. Went 2 for 5 with a single and RBI double. Faced Heston Toll in that last matchup. Allen will try and steal third. Pitch gets away. Allen will round third and think about scoring. Austin Shell does a heck of a job to save the pitch that got away. And before Allen could even think about scoring, he threw from his knees to Sox, who was covering home. But Dwight Allen is now at third base. And the count is 2-2 to Colton Freeman. Still no outs and no score in the top of the first. But the Riptide threatening here early against the Blues ace Matt Sox, who's only given up 1 run the entire season. He's now given up an even 10 hits. Here's a 2-2 to Freeman. Swung on and fouled away. Count and situation remain the same. Dwight Allen led the ball game off with a single, stole second, advanced to third. That's where he is now. So the first run of this ball game, just 90 feet away, but Sox worried about the man at the plate in Colton Freeman. His last start against the Blues going 2 for 5 with an RBI. Riptide would win 4-0 in the first ball game. It's the only time the Blues have been shut out this year, and hold them to a season-low 3 hits. In the subsequent ball game, they would win 5-2. 2-2. Fouled away. We'll do it all over again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still the count to Colton Freeman. Average at Freeman, second on the team at 360. Looking to add to his RBI total of 9. Breaking ball is hit to Samuelson at third. It's a foul ball. Count still at 2-2. Freeman battling Sox here early. Allen is still at third, and there's still no outs in the top of the first. So the Riptide trying to get on top here early. Allen could score on a ball that's put in play. In the 2 games this year between the Blues and Riptide, the Blues have led for an inning. Swung on and missed strike 3, and that is a huge first out. It's strikeout number 31 for Matt Sox. It's the first out of this inning, and that'll bring Reed Spenrath to the plate. Dwight Allen still at third, and Sox looking to strand him there. We saw him do so twice against the Arroyo Seco Saints on 2 separate occasions in 2 different innings. The Saints would have a man at third with either 1 or 2 outs. Sox would get the next 2 or 1 batter out to end the inning and strand a runner at third. Spenrath swings and misses through that one. The count is 1-0, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Reed Spenrath. Average at just 196 coming into play today. Fouled off, and it's 0-2. Riptide on the season, bat 294 as a team. In conference, just 245. Averages dip a little bit for them. Average about 10 hits a game. Have already gotten 1 courtesy of Dwight Allen, who is safe at third with 1 out in the top of the first. 0-2 to Reed Spenrath. Outside ball 1. With the Blues losing last night, they snapped a 4-game win streak. Looking to start up another game here against the Riptide. The only team in the South they have not beaten. 1-2. In there, strike 3 called, and he got him. Breaking ball freezes Spenrath, and now there's 2 away for Eric Bajani, the catcher. So Bajani bats with 2 outs and a man on third here in the top of the first at Sinsheimer Park. We're just underway. That Sox trying to strand Dwight Allen at third. He's gotten back-to-back strikeouts to get 2 outs. That one is swung on and missed by Bajani. Count 0-1. Quickly 2 strikeouts for Matt Sox. Gave up the leadoff single to Allen, who stole second and advanced to third. That's where he is now. And here's an 0-1 to Bajani from Sox. Breaking ball is fouled off. It's 0-2. And Matt Sox is a strike away from stranding that runner at third. Dwight Allen's been there since there were no outs. Back-to-back strikeouts have Sox on the doorstep of holding the Riptide scoreless. But Allen's still safe at third, and here's an 0-2 from Sox to Bajani. Hit out to left, and ranging on to make the catch is Thomas Trinka. And Matt Sox strands a runner at third with no outs. He does not come in to score. Back-to-back strikeouts and a fly out to left of Bajani set the Riptide down in the top of the first, scoreless. That does it for Orange County in their half of the first. Blues bats will come to play, and this is how the lineup goes tonight. Back in the leadoff spot, second baseman out of Quest College, Ryan Fenn, followed by Mason Grotto, playing first base, one of 5 defensive positions he's played this year. Austin Shell will bat third and do the catching, followed by Vince Martinez, bats cleanup. Samuelson bats fifth and plays third base. Ryan Cermak, lead off in 4 straight ball games. Down in the 6 hole, still playing center field. Followed by Thomas Trinka, the left fielder out of George Mason. Vinny Bologna, teammate of Mason Grotto's at Fresno State, plays right field. Followed by the infielder out of Stanford, Austin Kretschmar, who is playing shortstop today. Of course, Matt Sox on the mound. Sox picking up 2 Ks, stranding a runner at third. 0-0 ball game as we'll head to the bottom of the first. And on the mound for the Riptide, Spencer Edwards. Blues are going to face the 6'3 lefty, junior out of Cornell, hometown of Rancho Santa Margarita, California. This is his 5th appearance. This is his 3rd start. Comes in with a record of 1-0, ERA at 2.31 in 11 2/3 innings pitched, 13 strikeouts to his credit with 8 walks and 8 hits mixed in there. He's coming off of a start in which it was a no decision. He did not pick up the win or loss in a game back on the 23rd. So he's not pitched since the 23rd of June. That came in a 4-1 loss against the Foresters. He went 4 full, only gave up 1 run on 4 hits, and struck out 6. No score as we work our way to the bottom of the first, and we're at the top of the Blues lineup. Leading off the ball game is Ryan Fenn. First pitch from Edwards to Fenn. Ball 1. (1-0) inside, and they'll say it hit him. So Ryan Fenn is hit by a pitch to lead off the ball game. He'll be safe at first with no one out for Mason Grotto. We've seen Grotto bat second. He's playing first base today. We saw Grotto out in left yesterday. And for Grotto, he committed 2 errors out in left field. They were costly in what would go down as an 8-3 loss last night to the Foresters. Edwards delivers the first pitch to Grotto. It's lined to Esplelin, toss on to Cervantes, and on to first. It's a double play. Four 6-3 on the double play. Grotto grounds out. And now there's 2 outs and no one on for Austin Shell. So Shell bats with no one on and 2 away after Grotto grounds into the double play. Fenn was hit by a pitch to start the ball game, but here is Shell. Awaits the first pitch from Edwards, and that hits him. Breaking ball, inside, hits Shell. In 3 at-bats, 2 Blues have been hit by a pitch. That brings the total of men who have been hit by a pitch now for the Blues to 38 on the season. So that number stands at 38. For Fenn, it's the 4th time he's been hit by a pitch. And for Shell, it's the 5th. That'll bring Vince Martinez to the plate. That's with 1 man on. That's Shell, who was just hit by a pitch. And 2 away. Bottom of the first, no score. Blues and Riptide for the 3rd time this year. Martinez pops one up, and on top of the press box, count is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Martinez, one of 2 players. Starting lineup from Stanford. Fenn threatens to take off. Martinez grounds one off of Edwards, and it ricochets to Esplelin at second, who will tap the bag and get the 3rd out. Blues get 2 men on, both hit by a pitch. No hits and no runs. We are through 1 at Sinsheimer Park. Chapter 3 of the Blues and Riptide this season. It's another big game. 2 teams in the CCL South jockeying for position. Blues tied for first right now. Riptide in 4th. We will head to the top of the second. 0-0. Riptide bats facing Matt Sox for the 2nd time today when we come back. Thanks for hanging out on the Blue Streaming Network and making us a part of your Thursday evening. Top of the second, no score. Back to the Riptide lineup. They brought one man to third base. It was Dwight Allen who threatened to score. He was stranded there with nobody out. Sox would get Freeman, Spenrath, and Bajani out with Allen at third to strand that possible first run for the Riptide. So all for naught. Here's a Darian Williams swinging and missing through strike one. The DH today who bats fifth. Leading off the top of the second for Orange County. 0-1 the count. Righty on righty as Sox looks in and deals. Swung on and missed. Strike two. That one way off the plate. Sox induces a swing and is ahead on Williams 0-2. For Matt Sox, this is the guy you want coming off of a loss. This is the guy you want on the mound if you've won 4 or 5 in a row. Here's an 0-2 to Williams. Bit high, and it's called for ball one. He's been so consistent. The swing and miss has been part of his success so far. His ability to throw the elevated fastball and then drop a curveball off a table has had guys fooled all season. 1-2. Swung on and missed strike three. That's already the third strikeout for Matt Sox, giving him now 33 on the season. He leads the Blues by a wide margin. Tied at the top of the CCL in wins with 3. That speaks to his consistency, and it is fair to mention that in only one of his starts, and that was the most recent one in Pasadena, he did not get any run support. Still went 5 full, struck out 10, and only gave up the 1 run on the first pitch of the ballgame. Curveball dropped in there for strike 1. It's Tank Esplayland now, his first at-bat, second baseman. Tank played last season in 2021 in Bloomington for the Indiana Hoosiers. 0-1, swung on and fouled back. 0-2, got to cover Tank. It's cool to see another Hoosier or another kid from SoCal as a Hoosier in Bloomington. Esplayland was a shortstop for Jeff Mercer and the Indiana Hoosiers in the spring. 0-2. That one falls off a table, and it's taken for ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tank Esplayland. 1 away, no score. Top of the second, no one on. We did not see Tank in either ball game in Irvine. Did not start a pinch hit. This is his first at-bat versus the Blues. 1-2. And he's welcomed with a strikeout by Matt Sox. Sox has 4 Ks. He has set down 5 Riptide in a row. 4 via the K. And here's Emilio Rosas, third baseman. First pitch from Sox to Rosas. Curveball fouled off. Strike 1. Saw Rosas in the second game between the Blues and Riptide. Went 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a walk. Blues got 9 hits in those 2 games. Mentioned in the first game they were shut out and only got 3. Here's a 0-1 from Sox. Bounced and gets away. Count now 1-1. And I can tell you, after getting on the bus to head back to the hotel in Irvine after that first game in which the Riptide won 4-0, shut the Blues out for the first time all season. It was an offense averaging over 9 runs per game, over 11 hits. It was just confusion. And what just happened? Blues would come back, and a 2-run bomb from Grant Burton, his first hit as a Blue, that's outside ball 2, would give them a lead for an inning. And the Riptide would come back, plate 3 in the bottom of the 5th, to take the lead at 3-2 and never relinquish it. The final in that one, 5-2. 2 balls and 1 strike to Emilio Rosas. In there, strike 2. Count even now. Sox on the doorstep of a 1-2-3 inning. Gave up the leadoff single to Dwight Allen. Stranded him all the way at third after he stole a base in advance. Struck out Freeman, struck out Spenrath, and got Bijani to fly out. Keeping us scoreless. Here's a 2-2. Fouled off. And Rosas will stay alive to see another pitch. Two balls and 2 strikes. Rosas with the average at 297, facing Sox for the first time this season. The Blues sent Caden Sheedy to the mound, who picked up his first loss of the season and only loss against the Riptide. Heston Toll would come out and had the same fate. 2-2 to Rosas. Dips low, ball 3. Count full at 3-2. The Riptide are coming off of a win, 9-0 to fashion over the Conejo Oaks. Blues have beaten them twice this season, have not beaten the Riptide. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed strike 3. Sox strikes out the side. He's got 5 Ks through 2. Williams, Esplalin, and Rosas down via the K. We'll head to the bottom of the second. No score here at Sinsheimer Park in San Luis Obispo. It'll be Samuelson, Cermak, and Trinka due up for the Blues, facing Spencer Edwards for the second time today. No score at Sinsheimer Park. I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you on the other end of the Blue Streaming Network. Thanks for making us a part of your Thursday evening. Tade Samuelson will step to the plate, leading off the bottom of the second for the Blues. No score here between the Blues and Riptide. Third time these teams have played this season. Neither game going the Blues' way in the first 2 in Irvine. Riptide pitching seemed to have their number. And if you talk to Blues players, Spencer Edwards delivers the first pitch to Samuelson, taken high, ball 1. They said that every reliever that followed up their starter, they thought was better than the Riptide starter. And at that point, they had not plated any runs off of either starter. Samuelson lines one to right. It's a base hit and a single, the first of the day for the Blues. Blues get the leadoff man on, Brian Cermak, and that's been good news all year. Bottom of the second, no score. 1 on and no out for Cermak. But the guys were telling me, we thought that every reliever that followed their starter was better than their starter. And at that point, we're in the 5th inning, 4th or 5th, and had not gotten a run off of either starter. They knew they were in a bit of trouble and were unable to break through late in either ballgame. First pitch to Cermak, swung on and missed for strike 1. That's where Ryan has struggled. Coach Miller putting him in the leadoff spot for 5 straight ball games. Got him out of a mini slump that he fell into in the 3-game losing streak on the road. 0-1. Now 1-1. Samuelson is safe at first, single to lead off the inning. Now Cermak bats with no outs in the bottom of the second. The lowest we've seen Cermak hit in the lineup. 3-hole, way inside, ball 2. But he's getting shifted around, and Coach Miller telling me he doesn't necessarily want to shift guys around in the lineup a lot. Cermak's been a guy that's bat now lead off 3rd and 6th. And he said, I want guys to get comfortable in their roles. Cermak's just a guy we feel we can move around more than other bats. That's inside, called strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cermak. 1 on and no one out. Cermak, who did struggle in the 2 games against the Foresters. 2-2. Grounded down to Rosas at third. On to second and on to first. Cermak is safe, but they'll get the lead out at second. And there's one away for Thomas Trinka. Cermak and Samuelson trade places at first, and now there's one away for Thomas Trinka. We haven't seen Trinka in a while. Last started on his 20th birthday. That was last Sunday. Out of George Mason. First pitch from Edwards to Trinka. Swung on and fouled off. Souvenir, and it's 0-1. Thank you, G-Money. One out, one on. Cermak reaches on the fielder's choice, and Edwards deals to Trinka. No balls, one strike. Cermak takes off, but that one was inside and hit Trinka. So it's the third blue to be hit by a pitch today. Runners will be on first and second now for Vinny Bologna. One away, bottom second. Still no score. It's Cermak at second. He's got speed and scoring position. And Trinka, who was just hit by a pitch, is safe at first. Edwards deals ball 1 to Bologna. Bologna, whose 2 hits as a blue, both of the extra base variety, a double in his first start, and a 2-run home run. That came in a go-ahead win. That was last Sunday. Checking second.
It's a balk. It's a balk.
We're going to say he stepped off and forced Cermak to head back into second. We did see a balk last night that led to a run for the Blues. No call there, and it's 1-0. Ball, no strikes to Bologna. And on first and second for the Blues, just one away in the bottom of the second. Still no score. Bologna hits one to right and through first and second. Cermak will round third and score. It's 1-0 San Luis Obispo. It's Bologna's third hit as a blue, his third run batted in, and this gives them the early 1-0 lead. Still just one away, with men still on first and second. It's now Trinka at second, Bologna at first, who singled in the first run of this one. Sending it perfectly between Espelin at second and Spenrath at first for the first run. It's 1-0 Blues, and that brings Austin Kretschmar to the plate. Infielder out of Stanford, plays shortstop today. First time we've seen him start at that position. His previous starts have been at second. Breaking ball in there, strike one. Oh, 1. Swung on and fouled off to the right side. It's now 0-2. Kretschmar behind 0-2. That's with 2 on and just 1 away. Blues have taken the lead on a Bologna single to right. It's his third RBI as a Blue. 0-2. Swung on and lined into center. It'll drop in front of Allen. And he'll bobble it a little bit, allowing Trinka to come in and score. It's 2-0. So another RBI. That one the first for Austin Kretschmar. He's safe at first now. So back-to-back RBI singles from Bologna and Kretschmar have the Blues leading 2-0, and we'll work our way back to the top of the lineup. And Ryan Fenn, who on the second pitch of this ballgame was hit by a pitch. Runners still on second and first for the Blues. Still just 1 away in the bottom of the second. Edwards faces Fenn for the second time today. That first pitch is fouled off, and it'll be a souvenir. Count 0-1. Blues have gone single, fielder's choice. That's when the out appeared. Trinka was hit by a pitch, and back-to-back RBI singles from Bologna and Kretschmar. 0-1 to Fenn is in the dirt, ball one. Count even now. Blues lead 2-0. This was the biggest lead the Blues had over the Riptide in Game 2 of this season against Orange County. It would only last an inning. 1 ball and 1 strike to the redshirt freshman out of Cuesta College. Fenn takes strike 2. One ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Fenn. Still 1 away in the bottom of the second. 2-0 Blues. Runners take off, and Fenn pops 1 up. The infield will have a look. It's Spenrath calling for it at first. He'll make the catch, and there's 2 away. Runners remain on first and second for Grotto, who is second in the CCL in batting average and RBIs. Grotto with the average dipping all the way down to 411, and the RBIs stand at 26 for Mason. That's 7 more than the next Blue, who is Cermak, who's come around to score in this inning. It's 2-0 Blues, and Edwards deals to Grotto for the second time today. Takes ball 1. Mason grounded into a double play last time we saw him in the bottom of the first. Two outs, 2 on. 2-0 Blues the score. Edwards will deal a 1-0 to the Fresno State Bulldog, Mason Grotto. He'll swing and line one out to left. It is gone. 3-run bomb for Grotto, his second of the year. 3 more RBIs for Mason, give him 29. Three-run bomb for Grotto makes it 5-0. Now the bases are empty, and there's still 2 outs for Austin Shell. Still 2 outs for Shell. Bats with no one on. 5-0 the score now. Blues have jumped all over Spencer Edwards and the Riptide. First pitch to Shell, taken, strike 1. It's the largest lead the Blues have had over the Riptide all year. We mentioned it was 2-0. That would only last an inning. Now they lead 5-0 through 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Swung on and missed by Shell. 0-2. That'll keep you on your toes. That'll end in. You won't want to miss it. 0-2 to the senior at Cal State Fullerton. Austin Shell doing the catching today, was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Fouls one off and stays alive. 0-2. It's 5-0 now, so we feel we can bring in a special guest. We weren't anticipating this big of a lead early, but here we are. Blues all over the Riptide. 5-0 in the bottom of the second. 0-2 is fouled off by Shell. He'll live to see a 5th pitch. That's Grotto's first home run since the first series up in Lincoln. It's his second of the year. Gives him now 29 RBIs. 0-2 to Austin Shell. Hit out to center. Allen ranges back and makes the catch. That'll do it for us here through 2. But what a second inning it was. Blues plate 5. Back-to-back RBI singles by Bologna, and Kretschmar had it 2-0, and then 2 men on, and Mason Grotto decides to go deep. It's a 3-run bomb that makes it 5-0. Led to the top of the third, and our special guest will join us then. It's 5-0 Blues. Thanks so much for making us a part of your Thursday evening here on the Blues Streaming Network. I'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. Top of the third upcoming, and we mentioned we were going to bring in a special guest. He's the man that allows us to have special guests. He's the reason I'm here announcing for you guys this season. He is the GM. He is the owner of the San Luis Obispo Blues. He is Adam Stowe. Adam, first question, have you ever had a better introduction? And when was the last time you were on air during a live stream?
Let's see. No, absolutely, Zach. I've never had a better introduction in my entire life. I have to say that's probably hands down the best I've ever had. And last time I was on air was probably 3 or 4 years ago. Tend to try to avoid it. I don't particularly like the spotlight, but I'll take it every now and then as part of the job.
Well, there's nothing to worry about. It's
Okay.
5-0 Blues.
Fair
We've got a
enough.
good cushion right now. As Efren Cervantes will step to the plate to face Matt Sox, who has set down 6 straight Riptide with 5 Ks mixed in there. Sox has been terrific all season. First pitch to Cervantes is taken for ball 1. I guess the first thing I want to ask you about, Adam, was just your thoughts on this season specifically, because there's no season last summer, and this community and yourself are robbed of that. And we were all robbed of many things last summer.
Sure.
So how much did that leave you in anticipation, as that's ball 2, for this summer? Did you anticipate a season unlike any other in your time as owner? What did you anticipate for this summer?
Well, yeah. First of all, before I even answer, I want to say happy birthday, Zach.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a big day. I'm sorry I couldn't give you the day off, but I might be able to make it up to you later on.
Let's hit out to center. Cermak will range back at the track and make the catch.
And to tell you the truth, I didn't know what to expect from this season. Last year's cancellation was kind of a bummer. It was set to be a really, really good year. And I think people are ready to come out and be social, but I can't take all the credit. I think people are just ready to get out.
And I think that's what we've been seeing. It's nice to, because I mean, we go on the road and we see maybe, 10, 20 fans attendance at other games, and then we come home and things really feel like they're back to normal. This community is happy to have the Blues back. I know when I wear my merch out and people say, "Oh, how are the Blues doing?" Even if they can't make it out to a ball game, they're still wondering how the team's doing. That's fouled off for strike 1. So how much pride do you take? My next question will be in what, you guys are able to provide for this community in your game day operations and making this one of the main attractions in SLO?
Well, people are always interested in how we're doing, but to tell you the truth, they don't care, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
This is a community team, and people love to come out and support it, whether or not we're winning. We kind of created the Cubs. We have a uniform they're rooting for. Yep. Win or lose, they want the Blues to do well. So I take a tremendous amount of pride in the fact that the community wants to support something like this.
0-2 to Kyle Booker, the left fielder. Sox will deal. Hit out to left. That'll be a base hit. Booker will be safe with a single.
Lucky.
Against Sox, that's how you feel. That's what we've seen so far this year. Now, this is your 10th season as owner?
No.
Okay.
This is probably my 6th or 7th season as an owner.
Got it.
I came on the first year as the director of sales, and there
Okay.
really was no general manager, so I just kind of assumed that role.
Okay.
And a few years later, when the owner was looking to sell the team, my family stepped up and bought in, and that's how we acquired it.
So in your time, I guess, as just being a part of this organization, what would you say has been one of your prouder moments? I won't ask you to nail down and tell me what the best was. If there's one that comes to mind, what was one moment that you really said, this has all been worth it? And you might think that every day, but if you could just nail down a moment for us.
Well, I can give you 3 big ones.
Okay.
The first was before I ever worked for the Blues.
Okay.
When I put that ox out on a left field fence. That was a pretty big moment.
That's a good one.
The second was the first time we ever tied the Santa Barbara Foresters for a league title. That was another good one.
Okay.
And I have to tell you, the other night when we hit that 2-run shot to go up 5-4 against Conejo, and I saw the entire atmosphere of the ballpark change and people smiling, that was another one.
That was without a doubt my favorite game of the season. I've never necessarily been part of a moment like that. It's Dwight Allen at the plate now. And that was so cool. That was a way to snap a 3-game losing streak. It was a tough road trip for this team. And for a guy in Esperanza to hit it, I thought that was special too. He's a guy that's not in the lineup every day. He's a line that comes in and plays. These catchers, I mean, what they do and to start working with their pitchers is incredible. To have AJ have that moment, that's fouled off. It's 0-1. That was special. That was your favorite moment this season, you'd say?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also like the new tradition we're starting of singing Sweet Caroline in the 8th inning
Yeah,
after
yeah.
the 7th inning stretch.
It's like
kind of
Fenway Park.
It's a good bridge between sort of East Coast and West Coast baseball styles. I'm not really willing to change our tradition of the 7th inning stretch, but I'm willing to add one, and that seems like a really popular one right now.
I'm a fan of that one too. Here's an 0-1. Runner takes off for second. Throw in from Shell, just a bit late, and he'll be safe. It's a stolen base for Kyle Booker. Count is now 1-1 to Dwight Allen. First season for Bob Miller. And I can tell you when I was talking to him for the first time, if you're going to be the manager of a baseball team, you got to, live and breathe and sleep the sport. That's something I could tell from him right off the bat. What have been your impressions of the man who doesn't coach far away from here at Cuesta College?
No, he's an interesting one. He's a tough one to read. It doesn't give you a lot either way. A lot of positive, a lot of negative. Just gets the job done. And as far as his recruiting, I could not be happier with how he and our president of baseball operations, Ted Lilly, brought this team in. We've got some kids from programs that we haven't received before, and he's doing a great job on the field.
1-2 to Dwight Allen. It's 5-0 Blues. Kyle Booker is at second in scoring position. Sox checks there. He'll step off now, forcing Booker to head back into second. It's funny. Early in the season when I was talking to Bob, he would try to give me these really professional answers. I would just say, what are your thoughts on last night's game? And he would he was acting like I was writing down everything he was saying. And he said, I'm sorry, that's not a good answer, but that's what I got for you. I said, Coach, I just want your genuine thoughts. This can be off the record. This can be on the record. And as soon as I said that, I got a better insight into who's leading our ball club. And I have to say, he's an enjoyable man to talk to. He's a good presence around these kids. What I've learned from the players is he doesn't hover over and demand perfection. He demands improvement. And I think that's something that really speaks to his ability to coach in summer ball. And it's the reason he's been at Cuesta College for 20 years, or will be for 20 years. 1-2 to Allen.
That's another reason he's a good fit for us. This is a developmental league. We want to bring players along and make them better when they leave us than when we got here, and he has been a pro at that.
He also mentioned we want to get better. Winning helps when your players are improving and winning games as well. What do you see as the potential of this team? I know it's crazy to think we're just into the second half of the season. I've said, that time's flying by because we're having so much fun. But what do you see, through 24 games now as the potential of this team? Do you think it could win it all?
I do. I think we stand a pretty good chance. This is the most athletic team I've seen in the last 5 or 6 years. And they seem to be a great bunch of guys. The coaches have a lot of respect for them. And if they keep just doing their job on the field like they are, I know they're hot and cold sometimes with the bats, but their pitching is taking care of business. We play a whole lot of home games coming up, and I think we stand a pretty good chance.
That's Adam's way of saying come out to Sinsheimer Park, 1-2.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
6 p.m.
Yes. We will be here. You mentioned it's a good group of guys, and I can tell you from going on the road with them, I've equated it to kind of how our entire staff of interns really, after, a couple days, Adam, it felt like we had been friends for a while. And I can tell you it's a good group of people, one of the best I've ever worked around. Same with these players. I love the story of our first game. Here's a 2-2 to Dwight Allen. Swung on and missed strike 3. First game of the season, I step on the bus. Not only am I meeting everyone for the first time, all the players are meeting each other for the first time. And that's when it kind of hit me. Oh, there are a couple guys here from Utah that know each other, but they weren't just talking to themselves. They were to meet all their other teammates. First game, we go into Lincoln. We don't even take BP. Bus got in there an hour before first pitch. I'm talking to assistant coach Casey Bell. I said, Coach, is this the latest you've got to a ball game? He said, absolutely. Team didn't take BP. Put up 15 runs, 1 by 10. That's strike 1 on a curveball. And that told me, okay, this is a group of guys that just met each other. They just won a ball game. They'd go on to win 2 more. And I can tell you that brought them even closer. The fact that they said, hey, this is a good group of guys. Oh, and they're really talented. And the potential of this team is really high.
Doesn't hurt.
It does not hurt at all.
But you're right. That's a key factor, both on the intern side and the player side, is organizational buy-in. And there's not really a whole lot of reason for any of these kids to care, either up top or down on the field. And for some reason, our coaches have done an amazing job getting them to buy into the program, and our interns have bonded extremely well. It's sort of 2 different teams working on the same project, but can't complain.
That's in there for strike 2. Count is now 1-2. There's 2 outs in the top of the third. It's 5-0 Blues. Colton Freeman at the plate. Adam, I wondered this because I was still feeling my way around even after I got this position, and I was absolutely thrilled and learned that I'd be moving to slow for the summer. That swung on and missed for strike 3.
I love it when you put these.
We'll keep it here through the break. Matt Sox has 7 strikeouts. We're headed to the bottom of the third. We've got GM and owner Adam Stowe with us on the Blues streaming network. When did you say to yourself, okay, the Blues are going to be about the community. The Blues are going to bring in 20-something interns to man these positions. They're going to be high-character people. When did you say, this is going to be part of what our organization is about in terms of game day operations?
I'm not sure that was ever a statement I put together in one piece. I knew initially that I had to make it about fun and about an experience. And it had to be more of a big moving backyard barbecue that happened to have a baseball game going on in a baseball game. Because in a town of 40,000, you only have so many baseball fans, and you're not going to make it on baseball alone. So you had to have complete community buy-in and fun. And I decided if I get somebody to a game, I'm going to make it so much fun that they want to come back. They have to come back. And so that was our focus. Not necessarily winning, not necessarily drawing attendance, just making sure everybody that came in had a good time. And it seems to be slowly working.
I would say because you're putting a good product out on the field, that makes my job easier. But all these fans, you really said it. The team could not be as good, but they're still coming for the atmosphere. They're still coming to see the smiles on the faces of our interns that help them out with anything they need, whether they want to buy a sweatshirt or they want to buy a Miller Lite after we've scored a run in an inning. I got to tell you, in my just month and a half in being here, I think you put together a tremendous operation in a summer that I know these people anticipated because they didn't have it last summer. I think that's a reason that everyone come in and been so excited about literally just coming and sitting on this grass and in these orange seats.
Oh, yeah. I mean, baseball or not baseball, they want a cause to root for. Everybody's been so isolated. The fact that it's outside and they can go have a beer or a glass of wine and talk to their neighbors they haven't seen in a couple years, it's pretty hard to say no to that at this point.
Without a doubt, we're going to head to the bottom of the third now. It is Vince Martinez leading things off for the Blues, who lead 5-0. We've got GM and owner Adam Stowe with us in the press box.
Oh, pitching. Yeah.
Adam, was there a moment this season where you just sat back and it just really made you laugh? Maybe it was something that went wrong or something you said, this has to change. In terms of our game day operations, is there a moment that sticks out to you where you just sat back and laughed?
Unfortunately, there's too many to talk about.
Okay.
Actually, the funniest moment came on the road in Santa Barbara when a good group of interns went down there. And there were a few of them that tended to repeat phrases over and over again. Mm-hmm. And I told them the next one that said that was going to wear the mascot outfit the entire next day. And sure enough, half an inning later, one of them was wearing the mascot outfit the next day.
Oh, my gosh. We've got a fun group of guys and girls. The count is 1-2 to Vince Martinez. He grounded out to the pitcher his last time up. We're in the bottom of the third now. It's 5-0 Blues. I also have too many to think of that have made me laugh. This one's grounded down to Esplalen, who tosses on to first. There's one away. I'll give my intern some love, hopefully by asking you this question. What do you think is different about this group of us that are in these positions? And here's one thing that's really stuck out to me. The fact that some of us are able to move around and work different positions and work them effectively. I think it's awesome because I just sit up here and I just talk for 3.5 hours and that's all you need me to do. That's all I'm capable of doing.
That's not true.
but it's a very versatile group of people. Samuelson grounds one to Esplalen. Toss on to first. There will be 2 away. What's different about this group of interns to you?
They had to buy in quicker. Normally we have a group of 4 or 5 full-time interns all spring that do a whole lot of work for the Blues, and they fall in love with the Blues before the first game, and they sort of lead the rest of the interns in attitude. This year we weren't able to do that because Cal Poly had nobody on campus. So day one they showed up. They didn't know anybody. They had to buy in, and they did.
First pitch to Samuelson high, ball 1. It'll be Ryan Cermak at the plate. Here's a 1-0. Fouled off. It's 1-1. Let's see here, Adam. The team's good. The fans are coming out. Have you been surprised with the amount of fans we've been getting? You told us that July 3rd was going to be the biggest crowd we had. Yep. I said, okay, the night before we had 1,300 people. I said, how many more are we really going to have? We ended up having 500 more people. Here's the question. What's the most people you've had at Sinsheimer Park in your time with the Blues? Do you remember the number?
Yeah, 2,236. Wow. And it was packed so tightly, it wasn't fun.
Okay.
People were defensive of their space. Our staff couldn't get around. And at that point, we decided that we were never going to sell more than 2,000 tickets again. And this year with COVID, we limited it to 60%. So it was even more restricted. But I don't regret any of those decisions. I think this show on July 3rd was just about perfect.
I thought so as well. 1,800 people. That does it for the third inning. Cermak strikes out on 3 pitches. We'll head to the top of the fourth. Score still 5-0 Blues. They've got a comfortable cushion for Matt Sox, who will be out for his 4th inning of work. We're going to take a short break and be right back with you on the Blues Streaming Network. Thanks for hanging out. Welcome back, Blues Streaming Network. Blues lead 5-0. I'm Zach Ebrahim, sitting in the press box with GM and owner Adam Stowe, kind enough to join us for an inning and a half. We're going to keep him for 3 more outs. Matt Sox is going to face Reed Spenrath to lead off this top of the 4th.
So you've got me for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, with him on the mound, you're absolutely right. So, Adam, we talked about game day operations. We'll give you a chance to give some love to people that help you. This isn't a one-man operation. This isn't just an operation for the interns. First question, what goes into game day operations and the setup of putting together a show like this? And who are some special people that make your job a lot easier?
Wow, there's a few people that have very long days. My game day is about 15 hours long. Dana Applegarth, our assistant GM, who's done magnificently. Her day is at least 12 hours long, and Melissa Borello, who's back with us again this year as our director of game day ops. All of us spend at least 12 hours every single time we have a home game. And then on top of that, we have Keith Stowe, who's one of the owners, who dresses up in Bluebell every day, and Mary Ann Stowe, who is our host family director. And we have had the best experience with host families this year we have ever had. Between the players being good guys and families stepping up, it's been amazing.
That's a swing and a miss, and a throw on to first will complete the strikeout. That is now 8 strikeouts for Matt Sox, giving him now 38 on the year. There's 1 away for Eric Bajani in the top of the 4th. If a fan is going to come to you and say, Adam, this was what made my day at Sinsheimer Park, what's probably a feedback you've gotten from a fan where you just sat back and that's what it's all about. That's what I want every experience for every fan to be like.
Okay, I'm going to correct your question a little bit, but I have an answer for you.
Sure.
Quite often people will come up to me and say, oh, Adam, I went to a Blues game a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. My first question is always, did we win? And if they can answer, I'm upset. Okay, what I want them to say is, oh, I think so. Yeah, we had a great time, though. That's the perfect answer. If they can say, no, you lost 2-3, that's not so good. I don't want baseball fans. I want people who are fans of fun that will come every single night. That's my answer.
I think it's a great way to look at it. 1-0 to Bijani. There's 1 out in the top of the 4th. 2-0, excuse me. That one's lined out to right center. Ranging on is Bologna. He'll have to track it down at the wall. It'll be a stand-up double for Eric Bijani. First runner to reach on an extra base hit for Orange County.
But if I had to comment on the in-stadium, it's generally the atmosphere, and it's not something anybody says in particular. It's walking by 10 different groups of people, none of whom are paying attention to the ball game. They're all talking and smiling and shouting and have a beer in their hand. That's the fun part.
It's fun for us as well, just to kind of look down in between innings and watching the kids chase after foul balls. That's one of my personal favorites because a kid will easily pick it up, and they still rush over it because they think they have a chance. It's just really fun.
Of course,
to watch.
30 kids have a chance at one foul ball. That's just the way life is, right?
First pitch to Williams, breaking ball in there, strike one. The atmosphere stuck out to me immediately. The fact that we had fans so early in the season coming out in the numbers that we did, I said, this is going to be a unique experience. And then when we go on the road and come back, I appreciate it even more because we're lucky enough to be in this atmosphere day in and day out. Swung on and missed strike two. There's one away in the top of the fourth.
That's one of the reasons we require our interns to go to a road game. That serves two purposes. One, I want them obviously to learn and see what other organizations do. But two, when they come back, I want them to take sincere pride in what we do because we do an amazing job.
We sure do.
Unhumble, but in this particular case, we do a very good job, and it's all because of them.
0-2. Swung on and missed strike three. 9 strikeouts for Sox. Quickly 2 away. Runner on second is Bijani, who doubled. That brings Tank Esplelin for the 2 out at bat with a runner in scoring position. I think something that was really cool on our trip to Irvine was this guy. I covered him at Indiana last spring, so now I get a chance to watch him in summer ball. But we lost 2 games in Irvine, and then you mentioned that moment where we had lost 3 in a row. Esperanza has a go-ahead 2-run bomb to snap the losing streak. Other than that game, it could be a game that we lost. It could be a game that we won. Was there a moment or a game specifically where you said, oh, that's what this team is about, and that's what I can expect for the rest of this season? In terms of our player personnel, maybe the way we bounced back from a tough inning, it was something that stuck out to you?
It was one of the games at Arroyo Seco where we were not having a good game. Things weren't clicking. And I saw our defense playing their butts off, despite the fact that it looked like we weren't going to pull it out. I saw some of the most amazing plays up the middle infield that I've seen in the history of the Blues. And I just said, you know what? They're trying that hard right now. We're going to be okay.
Pitch is in there for strike one. The left side of this infield is one of my personal favorites when it's Samuelson and Ruben Mercado, who 2 guys that have some of the best hands I've seen. I think you brought up a great point about this team's athleticism. I think we see that in our guys that can steal bases that are also heavy hitters. I talked to a guy like Mason Grotto and tell him, hey, Mason, you lead the team in stolen bases. And his eyebrows raise and he goes, really? I wouldn't think I'm fast at all. That one's lined out to left. That'll drop for a base hit and rounding third and coming in to score is Williams. It's 5-1 now. RBI single for Tank Esplelin, former Indiana Hoosier.
We're talking about the left side of the infield.
Yeah.
And not that I'll take credit for him, but it's great to see somebody come full circle. We had Tate Samuelson as an incoming freshman at Pauley. And I'll tell you what, he was a good 3 inches shorter and 30 pounds lighter. He has grown up and developed extremely well into a fantastic ball player, and we're so happy we have him.
How cool is it? I mean, Mercado's a guy who played for Coach Miller, now plays his summer ball for Bob with us in the Blues. How cool! I mean, guys are coming back for second seasons. That speaks to their experience was awesome. Of course, Tate goes to school out here, but I talked to him. He's from San Diego, another great city in California. And he said, I had to come out and play my summer ball and slow one more time. It was that much fun. And he's having a heck of a season as well. That's ball 1 to now Emilio Rosas.
It means a lot that they come back. They have the opportunity to go many places. And it speaks volumes to our entire organization, everybody that's involved, that they want to come back and play for us again.
Hit out to right and foul, count now 1-1. The parents are a big part of it too, because they give their kids so much support without even maybe coming to the games. And then when they do, I've talked to several parents that haven't made it to many home games. The first game they come to, they go, wow, my kid, because they can see the fans on our live stream. But when they came and they were sitting in the crowd, a couple parents, their first game was that July 3rd game. And that's a bit extreme, for their first game. But they said, wow, my son is playing in front of this. And they were just in awe of the fact that they were getting this experience in summer ball. In games that they were winning as well.
Not just that, even with the host families. I've seen several parents come up to our host family coordinator, Adam Stowe, and say, thank you so much. My kid is so happy with his host family, which A, says a lot about her, but B, a lot about what else is out there.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're putting our guys in good positions, and I've talked to them as well. Some of these guys drove from Utah, from Arkansas. We have 3 players on the team from Illinois who are happy to come out here and play their summer ball. Count is 2-1 to Rosas. Runner on first is Esplaylen, who drove in the first run for the Riptide. It's 5-1. That's in there for strike two. Count even now. So no, they're thrilled with it. When they talk to me, they're thrilled about the fact that this is a coaching staff that preaches development as much as trial and error. If there's something that you feel you need to work on this summer, we're going to help you with that. You go out and try it. If it's not working, we're going to be here for you to say, this is what you did wrong, and this is how you can correct it. Summer ball is about development, but the fact that these guys have been winning as well has just made them that much more special. That's ball three, and Esplaylen will steal second. Is there a player that has stuck out to you in your time? Doesn't have to be the best player on the team, doesn't have to be a guy that played every day, but is there a player you remember where you thought, oh, that guy is a Blue. He personifies everything I want our players to be about. Is there one guy that sticks out to you that you remember? That's popped up.
No, there's a few.
Then
I'm
I'll
not
have
sure
a
I
look.
could pick just one, to be honest with you.
That's the catch, and that's the top of the fourth. Continue.
Let me think about that. I'll
Sure.
give you an answer tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll have a couple names for you, I think.
Sounds good. Well, Adam, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity,
Oh.
and I'll be telling you that for the coming weeks.
Well, good. I like to hear it.
With every game that goes by, I just want to tell you here, I go home every night and I think, how lucky am I that I get to work with the people that I do, with the team that I'm covering, and to work for people like yourself and Dana who are so helpful, so supportive, and just overall a joy to work for.
Oh.
And it's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, thanks, my friend. It's a pleasure to have you as well. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. And I will talk to you tomorrow.
You got it. GM Adam Stowe and owner. We can't forget that. We were lucky enough to have Adam for an inning and a half there, ask him some questions, get his thoughts. And that does it for us through 3.5. We're going to head to the bottom of the fourth now. Blues lead 5-1 against the Riptide. Thank you so much to Adam for joining us. Thank you so much to you guys for joining us and making us a part of your Thursday evening here on the Blue Streaming Network. I'll be right back after a short break. Thanks for hanging out. Here's Thomas Trinka. He's been hit by a pitch and is only at bat in this one so far. Again, another thanks to GM and owner Adam Stowe for joining us for an inning and a half. He had so much fun in the first inning that he stuck around for 3 more outs. Trinka takes strike one from newly inserted pitcher Mikhail Galatas. Count now 1-1. Blues lead 5-1. Swung on and grounded foul to the left side by Trinka. Got a chance to ask Adam about game day operations, about his interns, about his players, about his experience as owner. 1-1 the count. Trinka takes high, ball 2. Trinka part of this bottom third of the Blues lineup that plated the first 2 runs, and Trinka hits one out to left center, ranging on is Allen and Booker. Dwight Allen will call for it and make the catch for the first out. It's a fly out to left center for Trinka to start the bottom of the fourth. We are in the bottom of the fourth. It is 5-1 Blues, and Vinny Bologna, who's at the plate, is 1 for 1 with an RBI single. He plated the first run for the Blues back in the bottom of the second. After him, it would be Kretschmar. Back-to-back RBI singles. Bologna swings and misses through that one, 0-1. Galatas pitching in relief of Spencer Edwards. The Blues plated 5 off of him. The capper being a Mason Grotto 3-run bomb. One and one the count to Vinny Bologna. Swung on and missed. elevated off-speed stuff that Vinny swings through. Count now 1-2. There's one out. We're in the bottom of the fourth. It's 5-1 Blues. That 5-run bottom of the second. The reason they have the cushion. Take Esplalen, former Indiana Hoosier, plating a run for the Riptide. Allen's hit out to left, and Kyle Booker ranges on and makes the catch. There's now 2 away for Austin Kretschmar. So we'll have owner Adam Stowe back on the broadcast tomorrow. We'll have some more questions for him. Kretschmar awaits the first pitch from Galatas. It's feathered in there for strike one. Off-speed stuff. Count 0-1. Fouled off. Count now 0-2. For Nikel Galatas, Kretschmar fouls another one off. It's still 0-2. He's a senior at Jackson State University, hometown of Artesia, California. This is his 5th appearance, record of 1-1. He has started 1 game, pitching in relief of this one, 5.4 ERA. That one is way inside to the point where it hits Austin Kretschmar. He is now the 4th Blue to be hit by a pitch. Fenn, Shell, Trinka, and now Kretschmar have all been hit by a pitch. That's now 4. Blues have now been hit by a pitch 41 times this season. That'll bring Ryan Fenn back to the plate. He's been hit by a pitch and popped out to first. He'll pop one up to center. Allen will barely have to move and make the catch out in center. So they'll work around the hit batter. Trinka, Bologna, and Fenn all fly out to end the Blues half of the 4th. And through 4 at Sinsheimer Park, our score is 5-1. Blues with the 4-run lead, looking for their first win against the Riptide this season. I'm Zach Ebrahim, and we're happy to have you along with us on the Blue Streaming Network. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Thursday evening. I'll be right back after a short break.
Are playing again in Hunter Marinade for a 6 o'clock game with the Caneo Oaks, and they'll be on the road Saturday and Sunday. That game, that ever game on the baseball.com. And now the shortstop, the Graham Cervantes.
Back with you for the top of the fifth. It's 5-1. Efren Cervantes is at the plate facing Matt Sox, who has struck out 9 and been downright despicable. That's ball 1, and we mean that in the best way possible. The RBI single by Esplelin, that made it 5-1. Now it's Cervantes leading off top of the fifth. 1-0. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Count even. Part of Sox versatility, his ability to change speeds. Fastball, breaking ball. Pitching back-to-back and to elevate the fastball and drop the curveball off the table. Here's a 1-1 to Cervantes. Fouled off, and it's 1-2. No outs. We're in the top of the fifth. It's 5-1. Blues looking for their first win against the Riptide this season. Cervantes is 0 for 1. Flew out to center in his first at-bat. That led off the top of the third. We're in the top of the fifth now, and he bats with no one on and no one out, and he's in a 1-2 count against Matt Sox. He's already got 9 Ks to his credit. That pitch is in there. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. How about 10? And Matt Sox has tied his season high and has 40 strikeouts this season. And we are giving away a lot of hot sauce tonight. 10 strikeouts for Sox. Matches his season high. Anything after this will be a new season high. 10 Ks, and now he has to get by Kyle Booker. Booker, a man who owned the Blues last time out in Irvine. First pitch misses for ball 1. So Booker led off both ball games. He hit the leadoff spot. He led off the 2 games set with a double. He then strike out, single, reach on a walk. In that first game, he was 2 for 4 and found himself in scoring position twice. Here's a 1-0 to him. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Strike 1, excuse me. 1 ball and 1 strike. Then he'd come back, and his encore would be a 3 for 5 outing with an RBI, 2 singles, and a double. Again, hitting out of the leadoff spot. We see him batting 9th now, and he has already singled. So he continues to hit Blues pitching, even if it is Matt Sox. Here's a 1-1. Check swing, and it was high, ball 2. 1 out, no one on, 2 balls and 1 strike, the count to Kyle Booker. Swung on and missed, strike 2, count even. Sox going with the fastball to get Booker to swing and miss. 2-2 the count to Kyle Booker, bringing his average of .350 into this one. Only 2 doubles to his credit. One of those coming against the Blues. 2-2 is fouled off to the left side and caught rather nicely by the Riptide third base coach. 1 out, no one on. 5-1 Blues the score. A 5-run bottom of the second. The cushion right now capped off with a 3-run Mason Grotto home run. Grotto's second. RBIs 27, 28, and 29. That's outside. Ball 3. Count full. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 11 Ks for Matt Sox. A new season high. As we do here in the press box, we hang Ks up to signify the amount of strikeouts Blues pitching has. Through 4 2/3, it's only been Matt Sox out there, and he struck out 11. Here's the first pitch to Dwight Allen. It's a curveball that misses for ball 1. So that 11th K is currently hanging over my head. And Allen, who is 1 for 2, he's one of Sox 11 strikeout victims. This is his third at-bat. Top 5, 2 out, 1-0 from Sox. High fastball in there, strike 1. Count now 1-1. Our score 5-1. Blues looking for their 18th win in now 24 games. They're looking for their first win over the Riptide, and they're looking to get back into sole possession of first place in the CCL South. High ball 2. Another good crowd on hand at Sinsheimer Park. Talked a lot about the fans in our interview with GM and owner Adam Stowe. A lot of people that go into these game day operations. 2-1. Paints the corner like an artist, and it's 2-2. Two and two the count. 2 outs for Matt Sox facing Dwight Allen. In there, strike 3 called. How about a dozen? 12 strikeouts for Matt Sox. He strikes out the side in the top of the 5th. Our score 5-1, and Matt Sox has never looked better. His full line, and this is if he doesn't come out for a 6th. We're not sure in a 5-1 ball game if he will. He's gone 5 full, only the 1 earned run to Tank Espalen. Giving up 4 hits, a double mixed in there. It wouldn't come back to bite him. He hasn't walked anyone, and he struck out 12 of his, let's see if I can do quick math. Of his 83 pitches, he's thrown 58 strikes. Let's hang that 12th K up there and take a short break. I'll be right back with you for the bottom of the 5th and the Blues bats, who will be up. When we come back, our score 5-1, 12 strikeouts for Matt Sox. Blues hunting for a win. I'll be right back. Here's the man who is the reason the Blues lead 5-1. Courtesy of his 3-run home run, Mason Grotto leads off the bottom of the 5th. 1 for 2. Takes ball 1. So the Blues quickly got to Spencer Edwards. Blues have some hard-hitting right-handed bats, and they were showing out today. Grotto grounds 1 to Cervantes. Running throw on to first. Nice play, and there's 1 away. One out for Shell. Been hit by a pitch in this one. Mikel Galatas still out there. Deals now to Shell. Ball 1. Austin Shell just lined a single to center. It's his first hit. He was hit by a pitch, flew out to center, and now in the bottom of the 5th, he singles. And that brings Vince Martinez to the plate. He's grounded out twice. Grounded out to second back in the bottom of the 3rd. Our score 5-1. We're in the bottom of the 5th. There's 1 man on and 1 out for Martinez. Martinez is making his 6th start as a Blue. In those 6 starts, he's got 5 RBIs. He'll take strike 1 from Galatas. Riptide come in 13-8. They're coming off of a win in the Oaks. Their previous game was a 13-12 loss to the Arroyo Seco Saints. Throw on to first, checks on Shell. He is safe. And when you lose a shootout like that, that's a tough one to bounce back from. But they did. They won 9-0 over Conejo. Blues have beaten the Oaks twice in their meetings. We'll see them tomorrow. Galatas deals to Martinez, who lines 1 to left. It's a base hit, and back-to-back singles have men on first and second for the Blues and Tate Samuelson. Blues continue to tack on. Galatas, of course, pitching in relief. First men out of the pen for the Riptide. They got to the starter, Spencer Edward. They were happy to see a lefty out there, apparently. Mason Grotto was, especially. Tate Samuelson's 1 for 2, single and a ground out to second. Bats with men on first and second. Still just the one out in the bottom of the fifth. Our score still 5-1. Beautiful evening here at Sinsheimer Park. Another perfect night for baseball here in San Luis Obispo. Breaking ball, high, ball 1. Samuelson's single came in the bottom of the second, led off the inning. Led off what would go on to be a 5-run inning. Top 4, Orange County would strike. They plate 1 run off of Matt Sox. It's just the second run he's given up all year. 2-0 to Tate Samuelson. Strike 1. One away for the Cal Poly San Luis Obispo third baseman. Ooh, half-hearted swing and gets air. It's 2-2. It's Shell at second and Martinez at first. Both men getting their first hits of this ball game. And Galata steals a 2-2 to Tate Samuelson. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Now there's 2 away for Ryan Cermak. Five to 1 still our score. Blues looking to bounce back from an 8-3 victory. They played it all 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth when they were getting shut out going in. It was 8-0. It was the most runs the Blues have been down by at any point this season. So they came back and they played it 3 in interesting fashion. The bottom of the ninth to not be shut out. And in the words of Adam Stowe, he said, you know what those 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth are called? Pride. Blues were not shut out. They've been shut out once this season. As mentioned, it was at the hands of the Riptide. They're not getting shut out tonight. They lead 5-1. Here's a 1-0 to Ryan Cermak. Galatas checks second twice and deals. Cermak pops one up and beyond the press box. Count even at 1-1. Game 24. And every time I say what number game we are in this season, I'm surprised. It continues to fly by. We're officially in the second half of this season. Cermak swings and hits one out to right. Ranging back is actually Spenrath, who makes the catch and foul ground to end the inning. That's out number 3. Time flies when you're having fun. We're doing that so far. It's 5-1 Blues. Hope you're enjoying this one as much as I am. Zach Ebrahim here in the press box at Sinsheimer Park. Blues lead, and I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you for the top of the 6th through 5. Blues lead by 4. I'll be right back. Thanks for making us part of your Thursday evening. It's been a fun one so far. Don't go anywhere.
Lyman.
Welcome back. Top 6. We've gotten through 5, and we are in the top of the 6th. It's 5-1 Blues. New pitcher on the mound for San Luis Obispo. As he usually does, Miller Plyman pitching in relief of Matt Sox. And when Miller has come in, he's done a tremendous job of backing up what Matt Sox did. And tonight, all he did was, strike out 12, a season high for the senior at the University of Utah. Now we'll hand things off to the junior, I believe, at the University of Arkansas. It's Miller Plyman who will deal to Colton Freeman, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, both of those courtesy of the starter, Matt Sox. Now it's Plyman pitching in relief. Righty on righty, as he'll come set and deal to Freeman. Swung on and missed strike 1. Oh, 1. Fouled off and above the press box, out of our reach, and it's 0-2. Hit on the ground, foul to third. Samuelson will still throw for the heck of it. Count still 0-2. Now out top 6. It is 5-1 Blues. All of those 5 runs coming in the bottom of the second. And it was good to see the Blues have an inning like that where they plate 5. I mean, we were so accustomed to that early in this season. Fouled off, still 0-2. And then when they started playing back-to-back games in conference, especially against teams in the South, I mean, those were few and far between. In fact, they weren't really coming at all. The Blues would trail in a lot of games and come back, and that was a good sign. The Blues were playing close games, and they were showing that they could indeed come back and win games when they needed to. Adam and I were talking about our favorite game of the season, the 5-4 win over the Conejo Oaks that featured an incredible 5-inning start from Kyle Wish, who only gave up 1 hit and no runs, and AJ Esperanza, the man who catches every other day, having his second go-ahead hit this season, and it was the biggest one of this season, snapping a 3-game losing streak and getting a win over the Oaks, getting the Blues back. At that point, they were in 4th in the CCL South. Now, several games later, tied for first. 2-2. Lined to Samuelson at third. There's one away. One out for Reed Spenrath, also 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. We can say that about 3 Riptide bats. Freeman, Spenrath, and Williams all started their days 0 for 6, 6 strikeouts. That's what Matt Stocks will do to you. He's got a dozen, but now it's Plyman on the mound, pitching in relief of him. Fouled off, and it's 0-1. Spenrath struck out in the top of the first looking, and then in the top of the fourth swinging. No balls, 1 strike, 5-1 our score. 1 out, no one on. Top 6 here at Sinsheimer Park. 0-1. Line to left and foul. Now 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, still the count. Miller Plyman delivers an 0-2. Outside ball 1. For Plyman, this is his 9th appearance. He gets a lot of work out of the pen, hometown of Fayetteville, Arkansas. He's a senior. He's not a junior. I get his year wrong every time, and I apologize for that. But Plyman's a senior at the University of Arkansas, Fayetteville, hometown of Fayetteville, Arkansas. This one's grounded to Fenn at second. It'll eat him up a bit, and it'll be an E4. And with that, Spenrath will reach. First time he reaches is on an air today. Ground ball just ate up Fenn a little bit. It's a base runner now for the Riptide. In the top of the 6th, there will be 1 on and 1 out for Eric Bajani, the man who doubled in the top of the 4th and came around to score on a Tank S. Blayland single. So for Plyman, that's not a hit. He's given up 7 this year. 13 full innings pitched. For Miller coming into this one, has not given up an earned run. The only 4 runs he gave up were in a relief appearance. This one's grounded to Samuelson at third. It'll eat him up a little bit. And is that the 2nd straight error? E5. E4 and E5s now. Errors by Fenn and Samuelson will have back-to-back men reach. Now it's Spenrath at second and Bijani at first. So Plyman not responsible for any of these men on base. We'll go back to it. He is not responsible for any runs that scored in his July 1st appearance in Pasadena. He went 2 full innings, 4 runs scored off of him on 5 hits. He was not responsible for any of them. Last pitched on the 4th against the Oaks. Got 3 outs, then give up a hit. Swung on and missed, strike 1. It's now a Darian Williams. Back-to-back errors have men on first and second, and a Darian Williams 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 1 out. Line to right. That's a base hit, and the bases will be loaded for Tank S. Blayland, the man who has driven in the only run of the day for the Orange County Riptide. It's a single for Williams. First time he's reached today. That'll bring the second baseman who played his spring ball at Indiana University. So as much as I loved watching Tank play as a Hoosier, and I did, he didn't have the best season with the bat, but his hands were incredible. One of the defensive plays of the season for Indiana, Tank, whose first name is James, but we affectionately call him Tank. It sounds cooler. Bases are loaded. There's 1 out. It's 5-1 Blues. Plyman is dealing to S. Blayland when we come back right now. First pitch. Outside ball 1 gets away from Shell. All the way to the backstop. Run will score. Pass ball off the glove of Shell. Brings in a run. It's 5-2. Count is 1-0 to Tank S. Blayland. Bases are no longer loaded. Now it's runners on second and third. It's 5-2. Still just the 1 out. So Tank, his hometown is Glendora. He's from SoCal. pitching coach Dean Trainer going to have a word with Miller Plyman. So one of the defensive plays for the Indiana Hoosiers in their season, McCade Brown, who's a starter for Indiana, went about 4 innings in one of his usual Saturday starts. He was the Saturday starter. He would strike out 7, typical for McCade Brown, but he would walk 9 batters. In the process, through 4, he was throwing a no-hitter. And the man who came in out of the pen would continue that trend. And in the top of the 9th, they were playing Illinois. Illinois had a chance to break up this combined no-hitter that was being pitched by Indiana, and a ground ball was hit to Tank right at short, and he tapped second and threw onto first, an unassisted double play that ended the ball game and completed a combined no-hitter for the Indiana Hoosiers. A truly remarkable moment. 1-1 the count. So Tank is 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a strikeout. Take strike 2 from Miller Plyman. So a run just scored on a passed ball. It's 5-2. 1-2 the count to Espalin. Bijani is at third. He reached on an error, and Williams, who singled, is at second. Ball 2. Two and 2 the count to Tank Espalin. Grounded foul to the left side, so Tank will stay alive. Tank was a guy who you would watch in BP and your jaw would drop, but then in the game, pitchers would just be able to get him to swing and miss. Just struggled when it came to in-game hitting. Didn't have the best year in terms of average, but some of the best hands at short, or he starts at second today, that you'll see. 2-2, high, and the count will be full at 3-2. Plyman pitching in relief of Matt Sox, who was brilliant. Gave up the 1 run and struck out 12. A run has scored now on a passed ball. Bases were loaded when that happened. Now there's men on second and third, and just the 1 out. Plyman dealing with Tank Espalin, former Indiana Hoosier. Ball 4, bases will be loaded. Good at bat for Tank, has him safe at first. And that'll bring Emilio Rosas to the plate. Bases are loaded for Emilio Rosas. Still just the 1 out. It's 5-2, and the Riptide are certainly threatening. But it's against one of the Blues' best relievers. Ground ball, fair, past Samuelson. Oh, excuse me, it's a foul ball. That looked fair to me, but they're going to say that was a foul ball. I mean, the Blues will take it, but if I'm the Riptide, I question the call. It's a foul ball. It was not hit in fair territory. Rosas will still be at the plate with men on second and third and just 1 out. Blues dodge a bullet. I really thought that was fair. We're all perplexed, but not complaining at the same time. Bases are loaded for Emilio Rosas. There's 1 out, and it's 5-2 Blues. Miller Plyman dealing with the Riptide third baseman, who has struck out and popped out to second. Here's the 0-1. 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Rosas. Comes in with his average of 297. He'll be looking to add to his RBI total that stands at 7. Riptide, a team not prone to the extra base hit. The way they get you, it's death by 1,000 cuts. It's infield singles. It's balls hit to the shallow outfield. That's taken for ball one. Shell nods to Plyman. It's the pitch they wanted, where they wanted, but it did not induce a swing, and the count will be 1-2. It was crazy to us when we were in Irvine for that first game, and Eric Bajani went deep to left. It was only the 5th home run hit by the Riptide all season. Since then, they've got 6. 1-2. Line to right center, and that'll drop. Cermak ranges on to field it, but in the process, 1 run will score. Now 2. They're trying to clear the bases. He's stuck in a pickle between third and home. Samuelson has it. What in the world? As Splayland came around to score, and we're all genuinely confused. Is this game tied, or is he out? Interference? Interference has been called on the third base coach of the Riptide. So only 2 runs scored?
Yeah.
Officially?
So 2 runs scored on that.
Ooh, well,
2
it's
outs.
5-4.
2 outs.
So Tank Esplayland was out. He did not score. It's 5-4, and the runner at second is Rosas. Rosas doubled to right center, drove in 2 runs. It's 5-4. That's swung on, and that's lined out to Fenn at second. He'll make the catch, but we're in a 1-run ball game. After we do some housekeeping and clear up any confusion, our score is officially 5-4. The Riptide plate 3 in the top of the 6th. Blues Bats will look to respond in the bottom half. Again, it is 5-4. We apologize for any confusion. We'll get it all sorted out for you when we come back. On this other end of a break on the Blue Streaming Network, I'm Zach Ibrahim, and happy to have you along with us. I'll be right back. We're in the bottom of the 6th. It's Thomas Trinka leading things off for the Blues. And after all that, we're in a 5-4 ball game. It is still Nikel Galatas dealing in relief of the starter Spencer Edwards for the Orange County Riptide after keeping. And we clear up what just happened. So in the process of the Riptide scoring 2 runs, the bases were loaded. Emilio Rosas doubled to right center. When he was safe at second base, 2 runs scored. Tank Esplayland was the man rounding third and trying to come in home. He would have been out, but in the process, interference was called on the Riptide's third base coach. Tank, without being tagged out, was called out, and the inning was over. Hence the 2 runs scoring and not a possible third. Officially goes down as a 2-run double for Emilio Rosas. That has us now in a 1-run ball game as we enter the bottom of the 6th. Here's an 0-2 to Trinka. He'll line 1 down the left side and foul. Count still 0-2. Trinka's only reached after being hit by a pitch. He flew out to center in his next at-bat. He swings and misses through strike 3, and there's one away for Vinny Bologna in the bottom of the 6th. Brand new ball game, really. It's 5-4. It's close again. And the Riptide, after the Blues plated 5 in the 2nd, have plated 1 in the 4th and 3 in the top of the 6th to get us to this one-run ball game. First pitch to Bologna, ball 1. Oh, 1. Popped up. Ranging on is Dwight Allen. Finds himself in right center and making the catch. There's now 2 away for Austin Kretschmar. Kretschmar plated the 2nd run for the Blues on an RBI single. That came after Bologna's RBI single. Then he was hit by a pitch. Now he bats with no one on and 2 outs in a 1-run ball game. Two outs. Kretschmar shows bunt and takes strike 1. Line to center. Allen ranges back and makes the catch. There's now 3 away. That's the 3rd out. That does it through 6. It's a 1-run ball game. Hope you didn't go anywhere. Things have gotten interesting. Riptide have plated now 4 runs to make this a 1-run ball game at 5-4. Blues still with the lead. And it'll be Miller Plyman back out there when we come back for the top of the 7th. Things have gotten interesting. It's a home game at Sinsheimer Park. Games have been close as of late. This is a big one. Blues trying to beat the Riptide for the first time this year. They are 0 for 2 in their previous 2 tries. This is their first game against them at home in Sinsheimer Park. We're happy to have you along with us. I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you for the top of the 7th. Our score now, 5-4. Welcome back. It's a 1-run ball game, 5-4 our score. Blues lead the Riptide. Miller Plyman back out on the mound, pitching his 2nd inning of relief. Statistician Max Lober, handy as always. All 7 runs given up by Miller Plyman this season have been unearned. So the 3 plated by the Riptide in the top of the 6th, none were earned. His ERA is still 0. And here's Kyle Booker. Been extremely effective against Blues pitching this year. We saw him bat leadoff in the 2 previous games. He's in the 9 hole tonight. He'll foul one off. The count is 0-1. Booker 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Here's the 0-1. Outside, ball 1. So Plyman, the ERA is still 0. Incredibly, 7 runs have scored when he's on the mound, all unearned. I don't think I've ever seen that. Here's a 1-1. Booker hits one foul to the left side. It's 1-2. Blues lead the Riptide 5-4. We're in the top of the 7th here at Sinsheimer Park. Third matchup between these two teams in the South. Here's a 1-2. Lined out to left, and Booker continues to hit against the Blues. Now 2 for 3 with 2 singles. And he is the leadoff man reaching in their half of the 7th. Top 7, no outs. We'll work our way to the top of the lineup now in Dwight Allen, a man who's 1 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts and a single. Throw over to first, checks on Booker. Allen still waiting to see the first pitch from Plyman. First pitch to Allen. He'll show bunt, pop it up. And no one can make the catch as it is out of play for strike 1. In 12 official at-bats against the Blues this season, Kyle Booker is 7 for 12 with a walk and an RBI. The reason he only has the 1 RBI is because he's the man that's been getting on, and then the men behind him have been bringing him in. But he has driven in 1. Still 7 for 12 now in 12 at-bats versus Blues pitching. And singles off of Plyman, singled off of Sox. It's 2 very difficult pitchers to hit off of. Throw over to first, we'll check on him. And Plyman is certainly aware of Booker's speed over at first base. 0-1 the count to Dwight Allen. No outs, top 7, 1-run ball game, 5-4, Blues lead. Here's an 0-1. There's ball 1. One ball and 1 strikes. Plyman looks in and gets the sign from Shell. Throw over to first, checks on Booker one more time, still safe. Fouled off, and Max letting me know that. How many pitches, Max? 34 now? 33 now. Miller Plyman's thrown 33 pitches. How many are strikes? 23 have been strikes. 3 have been called. The other 20 have been fouled off. So they're making contact, but they're not hitting it anywhere. That's high ball 2. The curious case of hitting Miller Plyman. They make contact, but it's always out of play. 2-2 the count. That's crazy. You can keep those stats. That's why we got Max. 2-2. Throw over to first. Checks on him. Booker's still safe. Plyman, when dealing out of the stretch, he takes a lot more time in between his pitches. He gets the sign from Shell. Then comes set. Maybe peeks over to first. Or he'll throw to pick him off. Booker takes off for second. It's popped up and out of play. Riptide bats continue to foul off strikes from Plyman. Count is still 2-2, and there's still only no outs. Allen's at first. Allen's at the plate. Booker's on first. No outs, top 7, 5-4 Blues, our score. Plyman throws over to first again. Booker's still safe. Blues are in another tight one down the stretch at home. And if you've been with us throughout this season, there have been some good finishes. Throw over to first again. Checks on Booker. He's still safe. Booker has tried to steal second once in this time where Dwight Allen has been at the plate. And when he did, Allen fouled a pitch off. Count has been 2-2 for about 5 minutes. And I'm exaggerating. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled off. Lyman looking for the put-away pitch. He's got 12 strikeouts on the season in 13 innings pitched. 2-2. Swung on and foul tipped away. Count is still 2-2. Now we're approaching 5 minutes. Booker singled. He's 2 for 3, still safe at first. Has only tried to steal second once when Allen fouled a pitch off. Lyman looks in and deals a 2-2. Nope, he'll throw over to first again, and Booker's still safe. Well, Booker is not even taking that big of a lead over at first. Lyman has been inclined to throw over to first, what feels like about 5 or 6 times now. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Allen. Booker will take off. Swinging bunt by Allen, but it's foul. He hit it off himself. He's holding his right hip, or his right side. Booker will head back into second. This is the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Of the 6 strikes thrown by Plyman, they've all been fouled off by Dwight Allen. He just fouled one off himself as Booker tried to steal. Here's a 2-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. Man, Allen is furious. He slams the bat into the dirt. It was a 9 or 10 pitch at bat, and he eventually strikes out. Strikeout number 13 for the Blues tonight. Strikeout number 13 for Plyman this season. There's now 1 away for Colton Freeman, and Kyle Booker is still safe at first. There's 1 out and 1 on for Freeman, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a line out to third. 5-4 our score. Plyman deals. This one's grounded. Double play ball to second. It'll eat up Fenn. His second error tonight. Freeman reaches on an E4, second of Fenn's night. Had one with 1 out in the top of the 6th. Back-to-back errors by Fenn and Samuelson would lead to 2 of the 3 runs that would eventually score. We're in a 5-4 ball game. Men are at first and second now for Reed Spenrath. Spenrath is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, reached on an error. He's the man that reached on Fenn's first error back in the 6th. So Plyman is only responsible for Booker at second, who singled off him. But that error by Fenn may loom large again. Still just 1 away, top 7, 5-4 our score. Blues with the lead. Plyman checks second and deals to Spenrath. Swung on and missed strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to Reed Spenrath. Plyman steps off,
Oh, yeah, go for it.
forcing Booker to head back into second. And Booker's been in Plyman's head. I mean, he's messing with him. He's making him think on the mound about him. That's ball 1. Count even now.
Yeah.
Here's a 1-1. Reed Spenrath at the plate. Lefty awaits the pitch from the right-hander Plyman. It's a called strike. Now 1-2. Booker is at second. Freeman just reached on an E4, the second of the night for Fenn. Back-to-back nights in which Blues have had 2 errors. Grotto last night and Fenn tonight. Plyman checks second twice rapidly, now deals. Strike 3, swung on and missed by Spenrath, and that's the second out. Strikeout number 14 for Blues pitching tonight. 12 of those courtesy of Matt Sox. And the Robin to his Batman, Miller Plyman, has 2 now, 2 key outs with men on first and second. Faces now Eric Bajani, who has flown out to left, doubled, and reached on Samuelson's error back in the 6th, an E5. 2 outs and 2 on in a 1-run ball game. Plyman deals the first pitch to Eric Bajani, the catcher for the Riptide. Ball 1. Matt Sox went 5 full and struck out 12. Plyman was on the mound and got 3 long outs in the 6th, but not after 3 runs, but after 3 runs would score. Booker's dancing at second. Plyman still deals. Inside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Booker and Freeman are safe. Bajani's at the plate. 2 outs and a 2-0 count, facing Miller Plyman. Popped up and out of play. Two balls and 1 strike to Bajani. Average for Eric at 333. Leads the team in RBIs with 13. Here's a 2-1. Line to left and between Samuelson and Kretschmar. Rounding and scoring is Kyle Booker. We are tied at 5. Brand new ball game. Now all 8 runs given up by Miller Plyman have been unearned. We are tied at 5.
8 runs.
Total.
Yeah, total.
I was like, there's no way.
8 tonight, it's 5-5. Brand new ball game. We're tied. Blues and Riptide for the 3rd time this year. This one is going to be close down the stretch. It's men on first and second now for Adarian Williams. Here's a Darian Williams. 1 for 3 with a single. That's a 1-hopper to Samuelson at third. It eats him up. It gets by him, rounding third and coming in to score. It's 6-5. Orange County takes the lead. Unbelievable. Getting by the sure-handed Samuelson. Another run scores. The Riptide have the lead in a disastrous top of the 7th. That's Samuelson's second error. Fenn and Samuelson both have 2 errors tonight. The Blues infield has 4 combined. 3 Blues in 2 nights have 2 errors. Grotto, Samuelson, and Fenn. Here's the first pitch from Plyman to Tanka Spalin. He'll show bunt and pull away and take ball one. One oh the count. Men are still on first and second. The Riptide just took the lead at 6-5. Plyman looks in and deals. Swung on and missed by Espalin. Count now 1-1. This is disastrous. And you brought this up. In every conference game the Blues have played, that's when all their runs have occurred this entire season. 24 runs now for the 24 errors, for the Blues this season. All have come in conference play. 4 key ones have lost them the lead. It's 6-5. Espalin shows bunt and pulls away, takes ball 2. It's crazy that we were talking about this, that all their errors have occurred in conference play. And you think, okay, well, they still have a solid record in conference play. This could be a key loss tonight if they don't come back. It's 6-5. Riptide have the lead. They have 4 errors tonight. 2 on Fenn, 2 on Samuelson. Here's a 2-1 to Espalin. Fouled off. It's 2-2. Tank has reached twice on an RBI single and a walk. He struck out back in the second. 2-2 is the count. Still 2 outs and 2 men on in the top of the 7th. Swung on and missed strike 3. And a disastrous top of the 7th will finally come to an end. The Riptide have taken the lead at 6-5. And the Blues bats will have their chance to respond in the bottom half. Miller Plyman threw 56 pitches in 2 innings. In the 6th and 7th, threw 54 pitches. In the 6th and 7th, 4 errors occurred. 2 by Fenn, 2 by Samuelson. The 2 in the 7th both led to runs. And I'm talking over Take Me Out to the Ball Game because it was just a disastrous top of the 7th. I'll say it again. We're going to head to the bottom half of the 7th after a much-needed stretch. And the Blues bats will have their chance to respond. Now down 6-5 when we come back. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Ryan Fenn just fouled the first pitch from Nikel Galatas, who is still pitching. Here's an 0-1. Feathered in there, strike 2. Max, can I get his numbers so far? No, this pitcher, Galatas. 1 and 2 to Fenn. He's only reached after being hit by a pitch. So here are the numbers for Nikel Galatas. Ball 2. Spencer Edwards went 2 full innings, gave up 5 earned runs on 4 hits, the 1 homer given up to Mason Grotto, and he also hit 3 batters. Fenn takes ball 3. Galatas, since being inserted in the 3rd, has gone 4 full innings, has only given up 2 hits, and has hit 1 batter. 3 Ks to his credit as well in 49 pitches thrown. And he'll strike out Fenn for the first out in the bottom of the 7th. Fenn strikes out looking, and that brings Grotto to the plate. He'll bat with no one on and one out. Blues now trailing 6-5. Galatas' first pitch to Grotto is in there for strike one. The two singles given up by Galatas coming up in the bottom of the fifth. Shell and Martinez going back-to-back, but they would be stranded there. Grotto swings and misses through strike two. Following the back-to-back singles, Samuelson would strike out and Cermak would pop out to first. 0-2 is the count on Grotto. There's one away in the bottom of the seventh. Lined to Cervantes at short. Throw across the diamond. Would have been a heck of a play, but Grotto is safe with a single. Still one away. Fenn struck out looking. Grotto now singles, and that'll bring Shell to the plate, who's reached twice with a single and has been hit by a pitch.
They're from like 10 minutes ago.
Nikel Galatas. It's just the third hit he's giving up pitching in relief. He's gone through 4 1/3. Delivers strike one to Shell. He's been awesome. He has. Spencer Edwards, the Blues miss him. Galatas has not been a welcome sight. Just the third man to reach again. Just the fourth man to reach against him. Blues have not gone any. Shell singles to right. That gets through, and it'll be men on first and second now with one out for Vince Martinez. Shell's second single today. And it brings Martinez to the plate. He is 1 for 3. And the DH hitting cleanup man, who has 5 RBIs in his 6 starts as a Blue, will be looking to add to that total that he has rapidly accumulated. One away, bottom 7, 6-5. Orange County took the lead in the top half. Martinez swings and misses through strike one. No balls and 1 strike to Martinez. And on first and second for Vince. He'll line one through left. Grotto will round third. Throw in from Booker on a line and in time, but he is out. We're going to say Mason Grotto was out. And Coach Miller in the face of the home plate umpire. Nose to nose. He's been ejected. Oh, madness. He just threw his helmet. He's still in his face. Coach Miller incensed. Everyone thinking Grotto is safe. He's called out. Casey's got to go. Yeah, he's got to go coach now. Bob Miller's been ejected. We saw it 2 nights ago. Bill Pintard get ejected, manager of the Foresters. But the usually level-headed Bob Miller in the face of the home plate umpire, and we think for good reason, looked like Mason Grotto beat the throw from left from Kyle Booker. He was called out. Blues single 3 straight times. Wow, what a play. Bang, bang play at home. Grotto's out. Martinez is safe at first after his single. 3 straight singles. And Grotto rounding third and trying to score. Called out. Nothing we can do about it. It's Tate Samuelson at the plate. 6-5 still our score. Riptide with the lead. Galata steals to Samuelson. Grounds one foul to the left side. Here's a 0-1.
No.
Samuelson takes ball 1. Swung on and missed by Samuelson for strike 2. Count is now 1-2 to the third baseman out of Cal Poly SLO. What a crazy 7th inning. A couple errors occurring, allowing the Riptide to take the lead. A single through the left side by Martinez looked like it might score Grotto. This is a ground ball to short, throw on to second, ends the inning. Grotto round third, bang, bang, play at home. Looked to be safe from our vantage point, and apparently from every other fan here. Take that what you will. It is 6-5, Riptide with the lead. Coach Bob Miller has been ejected in the process of arguing the call at home. Nonetheless, our score, 6-5. New pitcher on the mound for the Blues. We'll introduce you to him when we come back. Our score still 6-5 Riptide. Well, this game has sure been crazy. We hope you've stuck around for it. We hope you're enjoying it as much as you can. We're going to head to the top of the 8th. Riptide by 1. I'll be right back. Welcome back. We're in the top of the 8th. We've had some crazy innings go down in our now 24 games watching SLO Blues baseball. That might have been the craziest. And not just because the Blues lost the lead, just everything that transpired. Bob Miller's been ejected. Mason Grotto, bang, bang play, possible tying run out at home after 3 straight singles by the Blues. The first time they were able to string any hits against Nikel Galatas. And our score remains 6-5. New pitcher in the game is Ryan Ward, who delivers ball 2 to Emilio Rosas. Leading off the top of the 8th. And if the Blues are going to win it, it's going to have to be in comeback fashion again, at home. 2 balls, no strikes. Ryan Ward dealing to Rosas. Here's the 2-0. That's grounded, a one-hopper to Samuelson. It gets by him again. It's his 3rd error.
It's a single.
It's a single?
Yeah.
Okay. Rosas is safe.
No.
Rosas is safe at second after a double. We apologize for muting the mic so much. We've got a lot going on behind us, a lot of discussions taking place about what's going on, what has transpired. It's been that crazy of a game. Rosas doubles to lead off the top of the 8th. Ward now dealing to Efren Cervantes. Oh, he just drilled him with a heater, and Cervantes is going to be safe at first. He's been hit by a pitch. Ward, whose fastball tops out in the upper 90s, he just plunked Cervantes on the shoulder, and he's going to take first base. Men on first and second now. A great question was just asked, where does Bob go? Where does Coach Bob Miller go? I said, I think he goes home. I think that's what you're supposed to do. But nonetheless, back to business. Rosas led off the inning with a double. It was not an error on Tate Samuelson. It went under his glove. Rosas doubles to lead off the inning. Cervantes was just hit by a pitch by Ryan Ward. He's safe at first. There's men on first and second. There's no one out. We're in the top of the 8th. And the Riptide leads 6-5. Kyle Booker's at the plate, the man that has owned the Blues in the 3 games against them. 7 for 12 in his 12 plate appearances, swings and misses through strike 1. Booker in this one, 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Strikeout back in the 5th. 0-1 from Ward to Booker. Low ball 1. Ward, a freshman out of the University of Texas San Antonio. They're called the Roadrunners. Said the one thing he wants to work on this season was his control and his command of that fastball that tops out at 97 miles per hour. He'll check second twice and deliver a 1-1 to Booker. That one's lined. Fenn, one hopper, double play ball onto short, onto first. He's safe. All the props in the world to Ryan Fenn, who has committed 2 errors tonight, grounding a tough ground ball. Took a hop off the infield dirt, tossed on to Kretschmar at second for 1 out. Now there's 1 out and men at the corners. Booker reaches on a fielder's choice. But there's 1 out now for Dwight Allen, who is 1 for 4 tonight with 3 strikeouts. Singled to lead off the ball game, was stranded at third by Matt Sox. In the 3 at-bats since then, he has struck out all 3 times. Faces Ward now with men at the corners and 1 out. Riptide lead 6-5. We're in the top of the 8th. Dwight Allen took ball 1 from Ryan Ward. We'll throw over to first to check on Kyle Booker, who is on base again against the Blues. That one via fielder's choice. Fenn grounded a really tough grounder at second, toss to Kretschmar for 1 out. Kretschmar gun to Grotto. Swung on and missed. Count even now at 1-1. One and 1 the count to Dwight Allen. Runners at the corners. Strike 2 is called. Shell pops out of his stance and threatens to throw over to first. But he'll keep it. 1-2 the count. 1 out, top 8. Riptide leads 6-5. Rosas is at third. Booker's at first. Here's a 1-2 from Ryan Ward. He'll throw to first to check on Booker. I know you don't have it, but I want to know how many times when Booker's at first that our guys have thrown over there. You know, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'd say Plyman 6 times and now Ward twice. He'll check over to first. 1-2 is still the count to Dwight Allen. Booker taking off for second. Allen strikes out for the 4th time tonight. It's a stolen base for Kyle Booker, but a key second out by Ryan Ward as he strikes out Allen. Allen is 1 for 5 with 4 strikeouts now. That'll bring Colton Freeman to the plate. does not have a hit, reached on an error back in the 7th. Other than that, he struck out twice and lined out to 3rd. Booker is safe at 2nd. Rosas, who led the inning off with a double, is safe at 3rd. 6-5 still our score. Riptide with the lead. And Ward looking in and dealing to Freeman for the first time tonight. First pitch in there, strike one. Ward is actually a sophomore at University of Texas San Antonio. 0-1. Swung on and missed 0-2. This is Ward's 8th appearance. Record of 2-0. ERA of just 2.18. On the season, he's only given up 3 earned runs in 8 appearances. We're going to keep it that way and keep the deficit at just 1 for Blues hitting. They trail 6-5. Runners at 2nd and 3rd for Orange County. Colt Freeman at the plate in an 0-2 count. 0-2. Fouled off. Oh, and 2 the count to Colton Freeman. Ward looks in. Booker's at 2nd. Rosas is at 3rd. 6-5 our score. Ward delivers an 0-2 to Freeman. Swung on and missed strike 3. Stranding runners at 2nd and 3rd. Our score remains 6-5. Blues will head to the bottom of the 8th, down by 1. Ryan Cermak due up to lead us off in the bottom half of the 8th. When we come back, our score 6-5. What a crazy game. And we're happy to have you along with us. We hope you've enjoyed the chaos. 6-5 our score. I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you on the Blues Streaming Network. It's epic. This game has been epic. Ryan Cermak is leading off the bottom of the 8th for the Blues. Cermak is 0 for 2, reached on an error back in the bottom of the 2nd. 0-1. Taken for ball 1. New pitcher on the mound for the Riptide is Sherez Butcher, a freshman at Tennessee. Stands 6'4", right-hander out of Kokomo, Indiana. I know Kokomo. I go to school in Bloomington. It's not the Kokomo that the Beach Boys sing about, but it's a nice town nonetheless. 2-1 the count. Sherez Butcher dealing to Cermak. Here's a 2-1. Cermak takes high ball 3. There's no out. Cermak is leading off the bottom of the 8th for the Blues. Our score is 6-5. Both teams have 9 hits. Riptide lead 3-1. Popped up and beyond the press box. Count will be full at 3-2. As I was saying, Riptide lead 6-5. Both teams have 9 hits. The difference, the Blues have 4 errors, 2 on Samuelson and 2 on Fenn tonight. Here's a payoff pitch to Ryan Cermak.
The second one was
Check swing. Did he hold up? He did. It's ball 4, and he'll take a walk. Cermak reaches to lead off the bottom of the 8th. That'll bring Thomas Trinket to the plate. Reached after being hit by a pitch in the bottom of the 2nd. Other than that, he's flown out to center and struck out swinging. With Cermak safe at first, certainly a threat to steal. Trinket pops up a bunt, and it is caught by Butcher. So that's 1 out. Now 1 away. Cermak safe at first. That'll bring, let's see, is it a pinch hitter? It is indeed
Clarkson.
TJ Clarkson.
16.
All right. Here's TJ Clarkson. Pinch hitting for Vinny Bologna. Bottom of the 8th, 1 out. Clarkson standing in his first at-bat as he will face Butcher. Lefty on righty. Clarkson takes ball 1. Cermak took a walk. He was safe at first and a threat to steal as he is second on the team in stolen bases with 8. Clarkson at the plate. First at-bat for him. Vinny Bologna finishes his day 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Sherez Butcher deals ball 2 to TJ Clarkson. Two balls and no strikes. Butcher, a sophomore at Tennessee, as mentioned, out of Kokomo, Indiana. This is his 4th appearance. The ERA at 5.78. Cermak's taking off for second. Throw in. Not in time. It's stolen base number 9 for Ryan Cermak. And he'll be in scoring position with Clarkson in a 2-1 count as he took a strike. The walk for Butcher of Cermak, and this is important to note, the 12th of his season. It's where he struggled. He has struggled with command. In his 3 previous appearances, he has walked 2, 6, and 3. Now 1 against Cermak, and now has delivered a 3rd ball to TJ Clarkson. With 1 out, here in the bottom of the 8th, 6-5, still our score. Orange County with the lead. He's only given up 2 hits. Here's a 3-1 to Clarkson. Strike 2. Count will be full. So if there's an area where he has struggled, it has been with command. Walks Cermak to lead off the inning. Trinket trying to put down a bunt, popped it up for the first out. Here's a payoff pitch from Butcher to Clarkson. Ball 4. It's his 13th walk of the season, and this is just his 4th appearance. Austin Kretschmar is at the plate, takes ball 1 from Sherez Butcher. Butcher, who has walked Cermak and TJ Clarkson in the inning. He has walked now 13 men on the season in just 4 appearances. Here's a 1-0 to Kretschmar, way inside, ball 2. Austin has an RBI single, has been hit by a pitch and flew out to center. Meeting of the minds on the mound with Butcher and Bijani. It's Cermak at second. He walked to lead off the inning. It's Clarkson at first. He walked in his pinch hit appearance. Here's Austin Kretschmar now at the plate. 6-5 our score. Riptide with the lead. 1 out, bottom 8. And another thriller late at Sinsheimer Park. 2 balls and no strikes to the infielder out of Stanford. Butcher comes set, deals. Kretschmar fouls one off to the right side, and it's 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike to Austin Kretschmar. 1 out. Kretschmar takes way inside. Looked like it might hit him. And that's a 3-ball count now. 3-1. Butcher clearly struggling with command in his 4th outing this season. Has already walked 2 Blues. And we'll see if Austin gets something to hit or if he takes a look at ball 4. Men on first and second, 6-5 Riptide. It is indeed ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Ruben Mercado, pinch hitting in the place of Ryan Fenn. So the curious decision of putting in Sherez Butcher, in 4 appearances this season, he's walked 14 batters. He has walked the bases loaded, and Ruben Mercado will have a chance to do damage now in the bottom of the 8th. Blues down 1 and only 1 out. Pitching change. Sherez Butcher comes in and gets 1 out. It was a 1-pitch pop out of Thomas Trinka. Other than that, he walked Cermak, walked Clarkson, walked Kretschmar. Bases are loaded for Ruben Mercado, pinch hitting for Ryan Fenn. Blues are down by 1. There's a pitching change, and we'll introduce you to the new Riptide arm when we come back from this break. Do not go anywhere. You're going to miss a good finish. Welcome back. Bases are loaded for the Blues. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Ruben Mercado is at the plate. There's only 1 out. The Riptide leads 6-5. That's our situation. And the new pitcher inserted for Sherez Butcher, who walked the bases loaded, is Sean Hepler, a junior at Xavier, hometown of Corona, California. This is his 8th appearance, and he brings his ERA of 4.61 to face Ruben Mercado. Pitch hitting for Ryan Fenn. It's Ruben's first at-bat tonight. It comes with the bases loaded and his team down 1. The first pitch from Hepler is taken for strike 1. Fenn finishes his day only reaching in 4 plate appearances, excuse me. He was hit by a pitch to lead off the ballgame. Here's an 0-1 to Mercado with the bases loaded. It's taken for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Mercado, who groans as he thought it would be a 1-1 count after taking back-to-back pitches. It's Cermak at third, Clarkson at second, and Kretschmar at first. Bases were walked loaded. 6-5 Riptide lead. Here's an 0-2 to Mercado. Swung on and missed strike 3. Mason Grotto's at the plate. Hepler deals. Grotto swings, grounds one foul to the left side. It's 0-1. Grotto made the lead 5-0 in the bottom of the second. 3-run home run, his second of the year. RBIs 27, 28, and 29 for Mason Grotto. He's 2 for 4 with a single in that 3-run home run. 0-1 is the count. Second in the CCL in batting average. Second in the CCL in RBIs. Awaits an 0-1 from Sean Hepler with the bases loaded and his team down 1. Grotto swings and grounds one to Cervantes at short. He'll throw to second. Bases are stranded, loaded. Still 6-5, Riptide lead. Bases are left loaded as Grotto grounds out to short. Now 2 for 5 is Grotto on the day. It'll be Ryan Ward still out there and pitching for the Blues. He'll have to hold the Riptide scoreless. We're in the top of the ninth now. As we enter the final frame, you still shouldn't go anywhere. It's still a one-run ball game, and we're still at Sinsheimer Park. Anything could happen. I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Thursday evening. Top 9, Riptide up to bat. Ryan Ward still pitching. It'll be Reed Spenrath to lead off the top of the ninth for Orange County. Their lead at 6-5, and it's been that way since the 7th. Took that lead, leading 2 in the top of the 7th. We're trailing 5-4 going into the inning. Took the lead at 6-5. Ward deals the first pitch to Spenrath, away ball 1. Spenrath has struck out 3 times and only reached on an error back in the 6th. 1 ball and no strikes from the hard-throwing right-hander Ryan Ward. That one's low and away, ball 2. Blues have come back many times this season on the road. You're going to have to do it again. It starts with Ward putting up a scoreless 9th and holding the Riptide here. 2 balls and no strikes to Reed Spenrath. Riptide first baseman. Swung on and fouled away. Count now 2-1. Riptide at 4th in the CCL South. A record of under 500 in conference, 5-6. Come into this one 13-8, coming off of a win. Blues come into this one 17-6, coming off of a loss. Split a 2-game set with the Santa Barbara Foresters. Looking to get their first win against the Riptide this year. Here's a 2-0. Now it's 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike the count to Reed Spenrath. We're in the top of the ninth in a 1-run ball game. We have settled down here at strike 2. Count now full. Spenrath has walked 12 times this season, now has walked 13 times this season. Second on the team in that category. Leadoff walk has Spenrath safe at first. And that'll bring Bijani to the plate. If you remember, in the first game between the Blues and Riptide this season, Bijani went deep to left, gave them a 1-0 lead in the 4th. They would never relinquish it in that game. They would win 4-0. Bajani has one of the 6 home runs by the Riptide this season, a team that's not prone to the extra base hit. And Ward delivers ball 1. So far tonight, 2 base hits on 2 doubles. Every time the Riptide have gotten an extra base hit, that man at second has come around to score. That one's hit out to right and ranging on. It'll drop in foul ground. Defensive changes for the Blues. Trinka moves from left to right. Grotto's in left. Mercado's at short. And Kretschmar's at second. And Clarkson's at first. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count to the Riptide catcher. Ward deals. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Bajani flew out to left to start his day. It ended the top of the first. He doubled in the top of the fourth, would come around to score on a Tank Espalin single. He reached on an E5 by Tate Samuelson and drove in a run on a single in the top of the 7th. At the plate now with 1 on and no out in the top of the 9th. Ward delivers a 1-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. And a big first out for Ryan Ward, who adds to his strikeout total on this season, giving him now 11. That is the 18th strikeout overall for Blues pitching. Of course, 12 of those coming from the right hand of Matt Sox. That's ball 1, high and inside to Adarian Williams, the DH today, who drove in a run on an E5, the second of the night by Samuelson. He has singled twice, driven in a run, and struck out twice. DH that bats 5th. Ward has now faced 8 men, and in 8 at-bats, he has thrown 2 first pitch strikes. Got the key strikeout of Bajani. Now there's 1 out and 1 on for Adarian Williams. Check swing, and they'll say he held. Count now 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. The leadoff man at first, Reed Spenrath, was walked to start the inning. Top 9, 6-5 Riptide our score. That's a grounder. Back to Ward. We'll toss to first. Now there's 2 away. Here's Tank Espalin. Has reached twice on an RBI single and a walk. Other than that, has struck out twice. Plated the first run of the game for the Riptide. Didn't think much of it at that point. It made it 5-1. Since then, they've rallied and scored 5. They scored 3 in the 6th and 2 in the 7th. 2 innings that featured 2 infield errors in each of them. Blues have 4 on the night. 1 ball and no strikes to Espalin, former Indiana Hoosier, part of the Orange County Riptide, spending his summer in Irvine, California, hometown of Glendora. 1-0. Now 2-0. Spenrath advanced to second on the ground out. It's Espalin at the plate. 2-0 count. Outside ball 3. Tank's average, it has gone up. He has gotten his confidence back. He's gotten his swagger back. The average at 357. He has walked 6 times on the doorstep of a possible 7th. Ward delivers ball 4. It is indeed the 7th walk of the season for Tank Espalin. And there's runners on first and second now with 2 outs for Emilio Rosas. Rosas has 2 doubles in this one. One that drove in 2 runs. Other than that, he's popped out to second and struck out. So 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, responsible for 2 of the 6 Orange County runs tonight. They lead 6-5. There's 2 outs in the top of the 9th, and men on first and second that have both reached via base on balls. Ward will look in and deal to the Riptide third baseman. Fouled off to the right side, and Ward gets ahead 0-1. Oh, and 1 the count to Rosas, the man who's doubled twice. Ward checks second and delivers an 0-1. Bounced and gets away from Shell. Runners will advance to second and third. He doesn't know where the ball is. Now gets it. Held it third, and no one will try to score. Count is now 1-1 to Rosas. That one got away from Shell. He had to locate it momentarily. One ball and 1 strike now. The count to Rosas, but that pitch got away. Wild pitch by Ward allows the runners to advance 90 feet each. It's now Spenrath at third and Espalin at second. Rosas at the plate. 2 for 4 with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. Facing Ward for the first time tonight. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Riptide leads 6-5. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. One from Ward. Paints the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Painted it like Picasso. One ball and 2 strikes. 6-5 Riptide lead. Runners are at second and third. They just advanced on a wild pitch. Ward not worried about that. He's worried about the man at the plate. Here's a 1-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. Runners stranded, both in scoring position. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th. Riptide by 1. Can we have another spectacular, thrilling, magical finish at Sinsheimer Park in the bottom of the 9th? Blues down by 1. Stay tuned to find out. It'll be Austin Shell leading off the bottom of the 9th for the San Luis Obispo Blues. This is game 24 of their 75th anniversary season. You better not go anywhere. It's been a crazy one, and we hope you've enjoyed the chaos for the most part. I know we have. It's 6-5. Blues bats will be up in the bottom of the 9th. Well, we've had some incredible finishes here at Sinsheimer Park, and we are all geared up to hopefully watch another one. It is Sean Hepler, still pitching in relief. Got the final out of the bottom of the 8th and stranded the bases loaded for the Blues with Grotto at the plate, one of their most dangerous hitters. First pitch to Austin Shell. Hits him. Shell is plunked to start the bottom of the ninth. Is it nerves? Is it loss of control? It's something. And Shell is safe at first. Shell reaches. He's the tying run. The Blues have brought the go-ahead run to the plate in the form of Vince Martinez. He's 2 for 4 with 2 singles, and in his 6 starts as a Blue, he's driven in 5 runs. He's been effective in his role as cleanup hitting DH. Finds himself in that same position here, a very important one. Blues down 1. Shell just reached after being hit by a pitch. Hepler deals, and Martinez pops one up. Cervantes lost it in the light momentarily, makes the catch, and there's one away. That'll bring Tate Samuelson to the plate. Shell is safe at first. He was hit by a pitch on the first pitch of the bottom of the ninth. 6-5 Riptide is our score. There's now 1 out for Tate Samuelson. Now he's the go-ahead run at the plate, facing Sean Hepler, who's thrown 2 pitches and gotten an out in the bottom of the ninth. First pitch to Samuelson, taken for strike 1. Samuelson 1 for 4 with a single. That's how he started his day in the bottom of the second. Led off an inning that would see the Blues plate 5 runs. 0-1. Samuelson grounds one foul to the left side. It's 0-2 now. Shell's still safe at first. He's the tying run. Go-ahead run at the plate in the form of the San Diegan Tate Samuelson.
Do you see that too?
Yeah. 0-2 to Samuelson. Throw over to first, checks on Shell. He'll be safe. No balls and 2 strikes to Tate Samuelson. Hepler deals the 0-2. Fouled off to the right side, and Tate stays alive. Tying run is at first. Go-ahead run at the plate. 0-2 the count on Tate Samuelson. Sean Hepler trying to get the final 3 outs for the Riptide and win the first 3 meetings against the Blues this season. Here's an 0-2. Samuelson looks at ball 1. Takes a good pitch. That was inside. It was a better take by Samuelson, I should say. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. 1 away. Martinez popped out to short. That was the 1 out. Hepler now dealing to Samuelson. 6-5 Riptide. 1 out, bottom 9. Here's a 1-2. First, he'll throw over to first and check on Shell, who is safe. One ball and 2 strikes. Popped up. Who's going to catch it? Who's going to catch it? It's Allen. Making the catch in shallow center. And the Blues are down to their final out. And it's Ryan Cermak. It'll be the go-ahead run at the plate. There's 2 out in the bottom of the ninth. Tying run is at first. Cermak, who has tripled twice this season. He has homered twice this season. He is second on the team in RBIs. Hepler is dealing to Cermak, who has only reached on a walk. Two outs, bottom 9, 6-5 Riptide. Here's the first pitch to Ryan Cermak. He'll look at strike 1. Hepler's gotten ahead now on back-to-back Blues. 3 straight Blues, I should say. Getting that first strike ahead. Making his job a little easier. But he'll still have to deal to the junior out of Illinois State that has plenty of pop in that bat. 5-tool center fielder. 0-1. Can he come through? He'll take ball 1. The count will be even. 2 outs, bottom 9. This is a big game for the Blues. have lost both meetings against the Riptide this year. Both came in Irvine. This is the first one on their home field at Sinsheimer Park. They led the entire ball game until the top of the 7th. Have trailed to 6-5 since then. There's a 1-2 to Cermak. Righty on righty, Hepler deals. Taken for ball 2. Gets away momentarily from Bijani. Cermak takes. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Average for Cermak at 295. RBI total at 19. He's the go-ahead run. Here's a 2-1. Oh, killed to left, but foul. Turned on one. He just couldn't keep it fair. That might cause some damage to an automobile. That's the Riptide bus, right? Yeah. It looked like he tried to. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. 2 outs, bottom 9. Go-ahead run is Ryan Cermak at the plate. Shells the tying run at first. He was hit by a pitch in the first pitch at the bottom of the 9th. Here's a 2-2. Cermak checks his swing. Did he go around? He did not. The count is full at 3-2. You'll see another pitch from Sean Hepler. Hepler looks in and gets the sign from Bijani, momentarily checks first, and will deliver a payoff pitch to Ryan Cermak. Here's the 3-2. Shell takes off. Cermak lines one beyond the reach of Cervantes. Shell will hold at second. Cermak has singled, and there's runners on first and second for the Blues. Steele trailing 6-5, and there is a pinch hitter being sent to the plate. It's Justin Trimble.
28 up to bat. Pinch hitting.
Justin Trimble will pinch hit in place of Thomas Trinka. The last time we saw Justin Trimble, he was pinch hitting and got an RBI single that would prove to be the winning margin, 6-5 against the Conejo Oaks. That's our score now with the Riptide leading. Tying run is at second. It's Austin Shell. Go-ahead run is at first. It's Ryan Cermak. Hepler checks second and delivers the first pitch to Trimble. Breaking ball way outside, ball 1. Blues have had some miraculous finishes here at Sinsheimer Park. Can they give us another? Coming off of a loss, the Riptide coming off of a win. Riptide 2-0 against the Blues this season. Pinch hitter is Justin Trimble. He awaits a 1-0. Swung on and sent out to left center. That one's carrying. It'll drop against the wall. We are tied at 6. Cermak rounds third. Throwing is late. The game is over. The Blues win 7-6. It's a walk-off double for Justin Trimble. They've done it again. They've walked it off. Unbelievable. Seven to 6. Blues come back and win. They've done it again. They defeat the Riptide. They win they win 7-6. They're now 18-6 on the season. Justin Trimble pinch hits and gets another go-ahead hit. Blues win 7-6. Unbelievable. Just unreal. So many heroes this season. Justin Trimble has done it again. Blues defeat the Riptide for the first time this year. They get back in the win column. They're in first place in the CCL South. They advance to 18-6. Riptide fall to 13-9. Justin Trimble, the hero. Hats off to every Blue that played tonight. They gave us another incredible game at home, and they gave us another incredible comeback victory. This one in the bottom of the 9th. 7-6 the final. They defeat the Riptide. And Justin Trimble gets the Gatorade dumped on him. Wow.
Thank you.
Spencer Edwards went 2 full innings starting for the Riptide. He gave up 5 runs. That gave the Blues a 5-0 lead. Riptide would rip off 6 straight, taking the lead in the top of the 7th. Blues would bring Shell, Martinez, Samuelson, Cermak, and Trimble to the plate in the bottom of the 9th. Shell would reach after being hit by a pitch on the first pitch of the bottom of the 9th. Cermak would single. And Justin Trimble would pinch hit and deliver again. This time a double to left center that plated the winning runs. Your final 7-6. I'm going to go try and grab Justin Trimble for the post-game show. Blues Live and Blues win. They get in the win column one more time. Was this the craziest game of the year? I'll let you decide. But they win 7-6 in comeback fashion yet again at home. It's their 18th win of the season. None crazier than this. They beat the Riptide for the first time this season. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Conejo Oaks in town. And we'll have first pitch for you, 6:05 p.m. Pacific here on the Blue Streaming Network. As for myself, I've been Zach Ebrahim. I hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did because it was incredible. Couldn't think of a better way to spend a birthday. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for making us part of your Thursday evening. As always, stay tuned for the post-game show, Blues Live. I'm going to go grab Justin Trimble. Good night, everybody. Back on the post-game show, Blues Live. Blues win 7-6. I've got to calm down. Justin Trimble's got to calm down. He just hit the walk-off double in the bottom of the ninth to give the Blues the win. Justin, first question, very basic. How good did that feel?
Oh, amazing. I had a go-ahead hit, last week's game, but
On the fourth, yeah.
in the fourth, but I haven't had a walk-off feeling in a long time, so it was awesome.
Prior to this season, when was the last time you hit a walk-off?
It's got to go back to club ball back in 7th grade or
Wow.
long time.
That long, huh?
Yeah.
Incredible, man. So you just told me great piece of information. What were you doing in the ninth inning before you were called to pinch hit and win the game?
Ninth inning, they the interns do what they do. They bring in the hot dogs, for the post game. And
Sure, we feed you guys.
yeah, I was eating my hot dog on the bench, and next thing I know, I'm on deck, and the coach tells me to get a bat. So
I love it.
I had to finish my hot dog. I was in the game. So next thing I knew.
For that thing looked like it might leave. It's left center. It looked like it might have been a homer. Ends up bringing in 2. It did not matter. Time. What are you thinking when the guys start passing the baton off in the bottom of the ninth? Like Shell's, he's plunked by the first pitch.
Yeah.
There's the tying run on base, and then let's see. Then Martinez pops out. Okay, but then Cermak comes up and he puts together a great at bat. He's the last chance for you guys. Singles one. Then you're stepping up. What is your approach in the batter's box, knowing that you are the last chance for the team with the winning runs on base?
Yeah, definitely. When I came in the game, I finally, focused, on the game, and I
Digested the hot dog.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I was watching Cermak's at bat, and I was seeing what he was going towards, each pitch, and I saw he was struggling with the off speed. So, first pitch, I go out and off speed outside, curveball, and so I know the fastball's coming. So, I just foot down early, and I gave it a drive left center. So, so I was, he gave me the pitch, and I did damage with it. So,
you sure did. Yeah. Last question, man, because we're saying it up here. Can they do it again? Meaning, can you guys win another game close at home? This one in walk-off fashion. Second walk-off at home. Fourth time you guys have taken the lead in the 8th or later to win a ball game at home. What's it been like to come through, whether it's been you or Bologna or Esperanza, to come through late in this game and hear this crowd just go absolutely crazy? What's that been like for you guys?
It's awesome. The fans always got our back, and you can never rule us out of the game. No matter what inning, we got a chance to come back.
You guys are proving that, and it's been incredible, and we genuinely thank you for the memories, because, this is stuff that is going to stick with everyone that was here and all of us in attendance. Justin Trimble, walk-off double, bottom of the ninth, plates 2 runs, Blues win 7-6. You guys have 18 wins in 24 games, 2 of them courtesy of this guy, Justin Trimble. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
You got it.
Thanks.
And that's it.